early evening. In Pittsburgh, it's late evening right now. The NFL Draft is 10 minutes away from kicking off. And the big question is here, gentlemen, is before we do the introduction, hopefully you have your first pick here coming up because we're all wondering who it's going to be. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum. You know both of these gentlemen joining us tonight. 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrae, just looking back to his fourth-round draft pick there for the, of course, Buffalo Bills back in the day as well. Dale Hellestrae's here. Bruce Cooper, he brought his Emmys. I told him he couldn't bring them on. They're too shiny. They bother the crap out of me. They blind me a little bit the way he keeps them polished. Bruce Cooper's here, of course. Local legend from Channel 12 for 34 years. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight on draft night?
I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you. I'm already setting myself up for extreme disappointment because it's what the Cardinals do to me.
And it's changed. Yeah, it's changed this afternoon, Dale. The rumors are rampant, and they've changed.
Yeah? Okay, well, I'll be excited to hear that because I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off this afternoon.
Studying for the draft, yeah, Dale. That's what you've been doing.
Coop, I want to know what you're doing on this day in 1985. Where were you in 1985?
Jeez.
Can you remember back that far?
Probably.
Were you working yet?
Yeah, I was getting ready to start my tenure at Channel 12
really?
Because I finished up an internship at through ASU.
Right.
So I didn't start till like May of 85. So I was about a month out.
All right.
A month out.
Well, I was sitting there back then, as I told Steve this morning. Something I'm going to repeat a little bit because I don't know if the same audience.
No, yeah, we'll have some new people tonight and stuff.
Yeah.
So
But back then, it was a 12-round draft.
12-round draft.
And it was all done in one day. And ESPN only showed the first round.
Wow.
So once the first round was over with, you had no idea. I'm sitting in my apartment. They didn't invite me to New York for some reason. They knew about my bad back. But, with every passing 10 minutes, you go, that's less money. That's less money. That's less money. And the other thing is what I try and tell people that they don't understand is, right now, all these guys, other than Mendoza, you could go from New England to Los Angeles, from Seattle to Miami, and every place in between. Whereas if you just graduate from school, like you decide, hey, I want to stay locally, I want to work for a local TV station, you had a choice. These kids don't have a choice. They just want to hear their name. And the earlier the better, because with each name you hear before you, that's less money for you.
Well, tell the story where you were when you got the call and how that went down. Because some of this still goes on today, especially as later in the draft pick. You do get a call, and you're asked if you're interested in going there late. Some guys opt to want to be free agents so they can choose where to go. But back in your day, back in 85, tell everybody how your draft experience was.
Well, I was with a bunch of friends at my apartment in Dallas. I knew I wasn't going to be a first-round draft pick, and they told me it would be about 3 hours for that. So we went to a Ranger game, went out and had some drinks afterwards. I said, I want to sleep in because I think it started like 7 o'clock.
In the morning.
Dallas time back then. It wasn't made for TV, basically. And so, all of a sudden, late first, they go off air. Now second round, phone rings. Hello? Hey, you got drafted yet? No. Stop. Don't, because I don't even think there was call waiting back then.
Tying up the line.
I don't know if there was call waiting back then. And I don't know, it was probably around mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock, phone rings, answer the phone. Dale, yeah, this is so-and-so, I can't even remember his name. Polian. Bill Polian was the assistant general manager. He goes, hey, Dale, Bill Polian, Buffalo Bills. They had not sent a letter, not called me, not worked me out, no contact whatsoever. He said, we're going to select you with the next draft pick. Do you have any problems playing in Buffalo? Because if you remember, back in the early 80s, they were 2-14. Guys were saying, I don't want to play in Buffalo. And I literally had the audacity, as now a fourth-round pick, to go, well, what round are we in? He goes, well, we're approaching the end of the fourth round. I said, I have no problem playing in Buffalo.
Just take me so I don't fall
just
after
take
that,
me
right?
so I don't have to wait around.
But boy, did you regret that decision afterwards
Not at
when
all.
you got up there?
Everything worked out like it's supposed to, and They played just good enough to get traded and whatever, and it all worked out.
Yeah, I think this was a 2003 draft here for the Arizona Cardinals. I think they had the 6th overall pick. A draft that some guy named Terrell Suggs was in.
You still remember.
And the Cardinals decided to trade down from 6 with the New Orleans Saints for, I believe, like maybe pick number 12 and 18.
Yeah, it was something like that, yeah.
So they took Bryant Johnson, a receiver from Penn State, with the first one. Then they took, with the 18th pick, Calvin Pace, a linebacker from Wake Forest, defense, an edge. And so he wasn't even projected. His projections had him in the 4th round at the earliest.
Where were they when I needed them?
And so when he got to town to do his press conference with the media, meet the media and stuff, I was like, well, Calvin, were you surprised? I mean, what were you doing when you got the call? He says,
That's great.
He says he was out shopping at Walmart.
Yeah. I think he was buying groceries or something.
Yeah, because he was not expected to be drafted at all. So and he's like, what the heck?
Typical Cardinal.
But
right
only Cardinals. Calvin. Matter of fact, Calvin Pace, his best years came with the New York Jets after he finished his rookie contract.
Yeah, after he left the Cardinals, right? Robert, don't forget, guys, we're live, Robat TV. We're live on YouTube as well. TME Media AZ is where you can find it. Robert says, hey, happy Dave may lose his crap day. Everybody's just hanging out, waiting for that 3rd pick to come up here and see what's going to happen and the excitement for you.
The thing is,
well.
we don't really care about 2. Do we know what number 1 is?
Two's going, I'll tell you right now, the new rumors, if 2 doesn't go Arvell Reese, Cardinals are going to take Arvell Reese. I think the Jets can screw up the Cardinals is what I'm getting at.
Well, first of all, when the Cardinals are doing their board, it shouldn't even resonate, or it shouldn't even Arvell Reese nor David Bailey should even be listed ahead of Jeremiah Love.
Right.
And let me tell you something. I'm absolutely sick and tired of seeing the Cardinals try and reach for this linebacker or this edge rusher. Look, how many times are we going to be through? We saw the Hassan Reddick situation. Yep. We've been here with Zaven Collins. Isaiah Simmons was this guy, this hybrid guy, this really unique.
That was the phase that they went through looking for that.
Yeah, really unique unicorn guy stuff, and every one of them flopped. I mean, only Zaven Collins is still with the team, but now they don't even look at him as that edge rusher.
But he hasn't been a huge performer. He's just there.
Yeah. And so here we go again. We're going to try it again, huh? Dude, stop it.
Yeah, I was reading that or listening to that coming in and reading that now Bailey's the favorite to go to the Jets now. Which then slides Reese down. I see a lot of these late mock drafts saying Arvell Reese to the 3rd spot.
I would take David Bailey over.
So would I.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Well, Reese is a guy who's kind of that tweener kind of thing too, and have you not been down this road before?
Yeah, he played a great deal of his time inside. He was bounced outside in pass rush situations. So. So that makes David Bailey the more polished edge rusher because he had like 14 and a half sacks anyway. And so that's what he does. So if I'm the Jets, I definitely take David Bailey over Reese. But if I'm the Cardinals, hey, man, been there, seen that, done that. Hey, man, move on.
And you hope that somebody else maybe wants him.
Reese? Well, that's the other rumor out there right now.
Here's the whole deal.
Do not say trade down.
No, here's the whole deal. If they're not going to take Jeremiah Love,
which would be a
if they're not,
mistake.
right? Okay, we can save that because we can talk about that after everything happens.
We'll know in about 30 minutes.
But if you're not taking Jeremiah Love, whatever your reasoning is, we're talking about Cardinals now what we want, talking about the Cardinals. Well, then there's nobody that is going to change your team this year, and I get sick and tired. Because you very rarely has this happened. You've worn me down, and very rarely do I change my opinion when Coop and I start talking. But now I'm hearing all this talk about, well, Jeremiah Love, you take him this year, the offensive line's not set, and you got him for 4 years plus an option if he turns out to be what you hope that he's going to be, and if you plan on being horrible in 4 years, well, then all bets are off in my mind.
Yeah, and here's the deal. Who says, and you're a perfect example of it anyway, who says that your best offensive linemen have to be drafted in the first round? I mean, come on, stop it.
You see that throughout the league.
Absolutely.
They're fourth, fifth, sixth round
Undrafted
guys.
free agents, seventh round pick. I mean,
Cardinals
come on now.
center wasn't a high draft pick. And look at that. He's one of the better centers in the league. Not a superstar, but.
Yeah.
Well, I've told you guys, and you tell us when they start going.
But, well, just really quick, let's set it up. Draft is officially underway right now, so we're on Raiders officially on the clock. So just to set it up, look, we know who's going to the Raiders right now, so that's why we're kind of skipping ahead. This would be a monumental upset here if he doesn't go to the Raiders as well. But so we're on the clock. We're waiting for that. Then it becomes chaos, guys. Jets, unknown, couple guys there. Cardinals, a lot of unknowns. Really quick, Dale, I don't know what you're about to say, but the other thing I've seen late today, New Orleans Saints moving up, trading with the Cardinals, switching that 3 and 8 pick. And then the Saints move up and take Arvell Reese. I've seen that on a couple late mock drafts this afternoon.
Well, and that's the thing. If you try, like the Cowboys, to 12, that doesn't do me anything. 12 and 20, give me 12. Yeah, that doesn't do. But if you're telling me that the Saints with you said 8th or 9th?
8th, they're 8th, yeah.
You still might be able to get Jeremiah Love at 8.
No,
you still might.
He won't drop.
I do not want to look up on that screen and see Francois Malioga as a third pick.
Yeah.
I do not want to.
He's there. They were showing him earlier. He's there. Roger Goodell's coming out, probably getting mercifully booed, if I had to guess.
Well,
we don't have sound on here.
He loves that. But the last thing about offensive linemen, high. Because you and I have talked about this ad nauseum over 20 years. You're right. The Dallas Cowboys, quote-unquote, wall of Dallas, that we won 3 Super Bowls with. Not one of them was drafted higher in the second round.
Yeah, and Larry Allen is like one of the revered and premier offensive linemen in the history of NFL football.
I'd say Anthony Munoz and then Larry Allen in my career.
Yeah, but even then you go Giesick from Sacramento State wasn't even drafted, right?
7th round.
Oh, was it 7th round? Okay. I forget how many rounds there were back then. You forget because this is a broken up. Obviously, round 1 tonight. We'll lead you through this and talk about it as well. So, I mean, after 1, this becomes a lot of question marks. One thing I have for Bruce here, I was doing some research on Jeremiah Love, more like who's compared to, the expectations for him. And a lot of people say they remind him of Reggie Bush going into this draft, that type of a player.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Look, Reggie wasn't as big physically as Love is, but when you look at the vision, the shifty feet, his ability to catch the ball in the backfield. I mean, I think he can comp with a number of players.
Well, I want him to comp with Bijan Robinson. Well, how about them apples?
You can do that too.
Can you?
Bijan has the quicker feet, though.
Yeah.
But there's no question that Love has a better breakaway speed. I'm just and me and Steve were talking about this before we came on, and they put out the top 100 players in the NFL. And I can't remember the number, but it was something around these numbers. The Rams had like maybe 6 players. The 49ers had like maybe 5. And Cardinals have 0. I mean, at some point, you have got to stop trading down to just get more picks, more play, and take a freaking difference maker. For crying out loud, it can't be that difficult. It can't be that hard.
One thing that struck me as interesting was you were going back to the 2003 draft. What did they have, the 6th pick that year? How many years do we sit here and go, Cardinals are drafting at the top of the draft again, and they just never get out of that stuff? They've done it a couple times, don't get me wrong, but it seems like every year it's like, all right, 5th pick, Cardinals, 3rd pick, Cardinals, 4th pick, 2 years ago, Cardinals, and it's just not getting any better.
But we will all admit, they took Marvin Harrison. There was not a whole lot of
I wanted Neighbors.
In that.
I wanted Neighbors.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it, Dale. I have it on record. You've been on you've been on the show. You've heard me say it. I wanted Neighbors that year. There's ASU wide receiver coach.
Hines Ward out
there.
Look
at all the Steelers.
Yeah, he did all the
coming up, playing to the ground.
Hey, look, I'll be the first to admit that I was certainly on board with the Marvin Harrison pick.
Right.
I've just been alarmed at his inability to catch the dang football. I mean, that's what you do as a wide receiver. Yeah. You catch the football.
Yeah.
I never saw the drops at Ohio State that I'm seeing.
Yeah, but Coop, here's the thing, and I didn't know Ohio State came for radio, and I came back, I told Steve.
His senior year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
or his last year there.
And the thing is, when you're running routes against Rutgers or you're running routes against Maryland, guess what? What don't you have? You don't have tight coverage.
But Dale, it's still the Big Ten.
Yeah,
And
but
I get
you know what I'm saying?
But even that Penn State year, they didn't have good cornerbacks at Penn State that year.
In addition to playing those guys, yeah, he's still going to rack up against the Michigans and the Penn States and stuff. Yeah.
He is, but I'm just saying, when I did the game, and I came back and told him immediately, number one, I didn't like his body language.
Yeah, that was the first
thing
he
didn't catch a
said.
pass in the first quarter because I think Penn State was rolling coverage and trying to take him away. And he sat over there on the side. He didn't go into the huddle. He was back by himself over there, kind of like Dion used to do, and pouting. And I said, that's not the guy I want. And that's what I was putting forth before that draft. I didn't question his talent. I questioned here. I questioned attitude.
I think just watching him on the field from the stadium, as much as I've seen him over these last, I think it's a want to catch these balls. I think he just thinks the balls are going to land in his hands and he's going to be free. I think he's almost surprised at the amount of the way defensive backs cover in the NFL. And I'm not going to say he doesn't want to work at it. I'm going to say I don't know if he has the mentality to work at it. It kind of goes to my second-generation wealth comments. It goes to second-generation talent as well, where he just grew up with everything so easy.
Well, let me tell you this.
Talk about Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison played with a group of receivers that all went number one. I mean, Wilson to the Jets, Olave to the Saints, and then I'm watching a Rose Bowl game with Ohio State. I can't remember who they were playing. Probably a Pac-12 team at the time. But I think it was.
Might have been Oregon or
something.
Oregon.
I was going to say it probably was that Oregon.
And so there was some guy named Jackson Smith and Jigba that was playing. Now I've heard of Marvin Harrison Jr. and obviously Wilson and Olave had done their thing and moved on. But it's like, okay, Jackson Smith and Jigba had over 300 yards receiving in this game. And Marvin Harrison was able to catch a touchdown or two in the game as well. But it was Jackson Smith and Jigba. But the following season, it was all. I mean, it was all about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right.
I mean, he just elevated
all
and
they
everything.
talked about.
And it's all in. And so, when you watch his games, I mean, the dude's putting up monster numbers. Now, you're there and you're seeing something that from the press box up top that we can't see necessarily just from the television.
Right.
So I'm surprised that at the body language that you saw and at the time.
But don't you
can see it with the Cardinals.
But don't
too.
you see that here now?
Yeah. I said at the time.
Right.
You
And that's the
now.
thing that's so hard to do because nobody ever goes back and goes, hey, here's who my top 10 were a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, which I think would be a great exercise to see how wrong people are.
I found a couple for last year. I just got to sit down and go through it now once we get tonight's draft. But Raiders, my most hatred thing about the draft, I had two things I hate about the NFL draft. The lying leading up to it and the nonsense and the rumors out there leading up to it drives me nuts. I think it's just a stupid exercise. And then also using the full clock here when you have the first pick and you know who you're taking.
Man.
It drives me nuts.
Really.
But you know,
It's 10 minutes of Mendoza highlights.
I told Steve this morning, and I told him yesterday, and told him the day before. Everybody's getting this from the Cowboys. Guess what? Now there's 4 minutes and 50 seconds left before they pick Mendoza. Well, what does that give the Raiders? People are talking about the Raiders. People see the Raiders.
The best part is it's all been Mendoza.
It has,
and
but now you see the Raiders logo. You see
the War Room.
Yeah.
They got the
Look
pick
at them.
in.
Yeah, they're all excited. Like, oh my gosh, how did we get Mendoza? I don't know how we got Mendoza.
I can't believe this dream has come true. We've been holding our breath for months waiting for this
Hold on, does
day
anybody
to
see
come.
Tom Brady in that picture?
No.
Is that him to the left?
Was that him? That was a skinny guy to the left there. We're watching. We can't have the Elite broadcast on, but we're watching. Look at this, though. Look how nervous the family is. This is happening.
That's like a great family picture, though, right?
They look like, you know what they don't have behind them, Dale?
What's that?
A picture of the family behind them. Remember that?
I do.
Come on, Coop. You got a beautiful
Thank you,
family.
folks.
Want to show
I'll
it
see you
off.
later.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Really quick, while we're waiting for this to come in, 3:51 left to go. And we'll talk Cardinals. Obviously, we get closer to the third pick. The Jets are going to throw a wrench into this. I just have this bad feeling. Leave it to the Jets to ruin our hopes and dreams out there. Pick is in, but Farmer Braxton's watching. He says, "Have fun, fellas, tonight." Papa Mike's not feeling well, and also, by the way, our special guest not doing well either, so I'm not going to make it tonight. If you listened to the show today and saw Dale here the whole show, you could figure out who the special guest was and that he's not feeling well because he missed his show today as well. But Robert says Commissioner, holy cow,
Goodell.
He came out with Watt and Haywood and still got booed. He walked out with Steeler greats and still got booed coming in there as well. Mendoza as the number one pick. I mean, everybody's thinking highly of him. Last year was not in this position. Obviously, you win a national championship. The thing I like about him that gives me hope he can be a really successful quarterback is just because he did that at Indiana with a coach nobody had faith in and a bunch of older players that aren't superstars there. And he was able to go in there, throw the ball to them. You know, everybody outperformed it to win that championship last year. That's what I like about Mendoza. He brings that leadership.
Yeah, I remember him when he started out at Cal. You know, he had played a couple games against Arizona State before, his transfer and obviously the team shakeup from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten, Big 12.
ACC actually for Cal.
Yeah. And so at any rate, the thing that really stood out to me most about Mendoza this year was his accuracy. I mean, it seemed like every third down,
Goodell's coming up.
Yeah, he completed the pass. Dude completed 72% of his passes for over 3,500 yards and 41 touchdowns. I mean, dude, you have to take your hat off to that type of efficiency.
So here's the draft pick here with the first pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Las Vegas Raiders take Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana.
I didn't
folks.
see that coming.
He had the hat, Coop. He had the hat right there. It's like a high school signing. Did he have three hats?
I could not believe how stiff that family was. It's like they were nervous. Like, this might not happen. That would actually be my attitude if I was in this position. I'd be like, even though you're number one, I'd still be like in the back of my mind going,
your name.
Yeah, I'd still in the back of mind being like, there's something bad could happen out of this.
It's the Raiders.
He does have just a good looking family there, and going to Cal and then up there. So, okay, not a shocker. Jets are on the clock now. This is where things get interesting, gentlemen.
Yeah, but back to just one quick note with the Raiders. I really like how they attacked this whole deal because they said, look, we're not going to throw him into the fire if he's not ready. So they went out and they traded and acquired. He's with the Falcons.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I struggled with that too. I was with you.
Yeah, and so and Kirk is a pro's pro, and so he can learn a lot from a guy like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And so there's not a lot of pressure, and I like how the Raiders have already set this up because a year ago they took Ashton Genty.
Yes.
And Genty didn't have the type of season that we did
because
he didn't.
Not his fault though.
He didn't have the. But I'm telling you could see some of the games where his burst, his speed, and his talent just shone out. So I think the Raiders, they spent some money in free agency this offseason, so they are setting things up for Mendoza not to come in with a lot of pressure on him. If he does get the starting job, he can turn around and hand the ball off to Genty a lot, take some of the pressure off of him.
I think the Raiders learned a lesson, though, with Gentry last year. You can't take those positions if you don't have an offensive line. And so I think you're kind of learning that. Now, I think that's Brady's influence as well.
See, here's the deal.
That offensive line was terrible.
Here's the deal. The reason why the Raiders needed to take Genty is that I think he was like maybe the fifth or sixth player taken in the draft.
Yeah.
All right. So if you take an offensive lineman there, you come back, you don't know where you're going to be in the draft. So now let's say that
I don't
that-
disagree.
that-
I'm not
that-
saying
that-
it's a bad pick.
No,
yeah.
no, yeah, because you don't know that you're going to get that type of back or player again.
Yeah.
You take the best player at that time, and he's a guy that's trending forward for
Yeah.
him.
But what I mean though is they're not going to put Mendoza back there
Right.
if he's going to get beat up a la back in the day with Houston, right? The car kid.
Well, the Raiders expended a lot of money in free
did.
agency, and they brought in some offensive
that
linemen.
center from Baltimore
Yeah.
I don't ask me now because I'm watching the Jets.
It's like
3
Linderbaum.
minutes out here, and look at that Jets war room compared to the Raiders. It's all spread out. Here's the deal. So who's going to the Jets? Arvell Reese has been the guy, Bruce, that's been rumored to him this whole time. Today, in the last couple of days, it switched to Bailey. I like Bailey over Reese if you're going to pick one of these guys. Of course, Jets new head coaching staff in there. Hopefully a new attitude in there as well. Set that defense up with an edge or a linebacker here. Which one?
Well, the pick is in, and if I'm the Jets, now keep in mind they started trading, had this little fire sale where they're trading a lot of their key players away.
Sauce Gardner.
And to get additional draft capital. Now they, I believe, have 3 first-round picks next year. In a great quarterback class.
Yeah.
And so what they need to do is start addressing players now that could, blend into what they do next year.
But 3 years ago, the Jets had one of the better defenses in the league.
They
The
did.
offense was what was terrible. They tried to fix the offense and subsequently ruined the defense.
Well, here's the deal. They had like Breece Hall and they had Wilson. They had some talent there, but you know what they didn't have? They didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, that was.
They spent the second overall pick in the entire draft on a quarterback from BYU named Zach Wilson.
Just a kid that's not fitting into New York. Forget about his football presence. He's not the attitude to fit into New York.
That set that franchise back
Yeah.
big time.
I had to step out of the room for a minute. I don't know what you two guys
No,
were
we're just talking about the Jets,
nonsensical.
Bailey or Reese.
Okay,
here.
but I want to really quick finish on Mendoza.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I think he's a no-brainer. I think he's going to have a hell of an NFL career. Not only the size, the arm strength, decision-making, leadership. And again, obviously got to have the talent. But then I want to look in here and in your heart.
Yeah.
And that dude, I mean, what he did against Miami in that championship game.
He got beat up.
And that hit he took to score the touchdown coup, you and I would have been in the hospital for 6 weeks.
The Jets are up here for the pick here.
Okay.
Roger Goodell's walking up here.
That's
Let's
quick.
see who they go with. Well,
I'm-
they start like the Cardinals are already on the clock here. They start the clock immediately, so it goes fast. And look at that. They went with David
is
Bailey,
David Bailey.
which has been the rumor the last day. Texas Tech, of course, here for this draft. I'm not surprised by this because the rumor has been this was going to happen. I like Bailey a lot as a defensive guy. I like how he's going to come off that line. I think this is a great addition to the Jets here as well. 76 tackles, 23 tackles for loss, 14.5 sacks, 71 pressures, 8 run stops, 3 forced fumbles, 4 pass breakups for him as well. Came in from Stanford, so he's a smart kid as well. To come into the NFL here, and things. He just gets after the quarterback, and that's going to help that Jets defense here.
No question. I mean, look, when you start losing some of your top end defensive talent, in a rebuild, you have to start somewhere, and to be able to have a guy that can come off the edge and put pressure on some of your divisional foes at quarterback, like the Buffalo Bills.
Patriots.
Yeah. Patriots, Bills. You need a legit pass rusher, and that's what he is. I mean,
Well, you saw in the Super Bowl with the Broncos what that defensive line did to that offensive line of the not in the Super Bowl, the AFC Championship game. So you need that type of rush here and everything. So
yeah, and look, I'm not saying that coming off the edge and trying to bring down a Josh Allen is going to be easy, but you need that type of guy. You need someone to come off the edge and bring some.
Here's the bigger question for Bailey here is he's going to take a pay cut going to the NFL. How does that affect his psyche?
Well, look,
Texas
I
Tech, big donors,
don't think
folks.
Texas Tech paid him that much.
No,
money.
I'm just making a shot at Texas Tech and their big donor there as well. I mean, Bailey comes in. We had the privilege of seeing him obviously here playing against Arizona State.
There's some highlights right
my
there.
favorite part is they
yeah.
always show this highlight here coming up. And, gets chipped, gets a second guy in there, right, to do it, spins around him, and still gets back to the quarterback with two offensive guys.
Coop is a
slowing him
former
down.
athlete. The one thing you always wanted to avoid is be on somebody else's highlight.
And two guys
You
are on that one.
you don't want to be on somebody else's highlight tape. And the Cardinals are down to 3 minutes already, 3:20.
Oh, they start the clock. The pick was in for a good 2 minutes beforehand. So, look, a surprise there. And I told you guys, David Bailey goes to. That puts Arvell Reese in play right here for the Cardinals, which I'm not sold on that. I like Jeremiah Love. I agree with you on the playmaker. I'm actually okay with a trade down to 8 or something if the Saints want to move up. Not ideal, but I'm okay with that. I just don't know if you take a guy, and Arvell Reese, Dale, has your favorite thing, short arms.
Well, I don't know about short arms, but I do know that he's not a lineup David Bailey, rush the passer kind of guy.
Yeah, he doesn't have those secondary moves
No.
like Bailey does. And then, let's look at the Cardinals' linebacking core. They spent a fourth-round pick last year on Cody Simon from Ohio State, and their inside linebacker, I'm losing his name, who was hurt a great deal of last year. He was their
BJ?
BJ Ojolari. And this is again why
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, see, BJ Ojolari was a second-round pick a couple years ago, but he tore his ACL his rookie year and late in the rookie year, so he missed pretty much all of this past season.
Right.
So he's coming back to try to see if he can be that guy next to Joshua Sweat on the on the other side, and then. Again, we talked about Zaven Collins being played out there as well. They spent a third-round pick last year on Jordan Birch from Oregon. So it's like, all right, you talk about a crowded room. I mean, this is what's happening. It drives me crazy. I can't think of the Cardinals starting inside linebacker. They got hurt.
Well, they all got hurt last year.
Well, he was their leading tackler.
It's just this is going to be so fascinating because one, stand back, everybody. Coop might lose his mind and just let it happen. We'll get it on camera here. I mean, until Bailey went to the Jets, I was convinced it was Love or trade down. And now I legitimately think they're going to go with a guy that I don't think anybody's going to be excited about.
What if all of a sudden Goodell walks out there and he says, Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson.
You guys might be doing the show by yourself.
We'll just shut it down. We'll just close it out, grab our pizza, and go, right? Pick is in for the Arizona Cardinals right now. And, I mean, realistically, Coop, we know your love for it and everything, but this is the Cardinals we're talking about.
And
what are you expecting?
And that's why I've set myself up. They can't hurt me. Because I've already resigned myself to the fact that they would take a Ty Simpson. I mean, that's not beyond.
I can tell you this: it's not a trade because they would have announced that by now. The pick is actually in. They're taking a pick here. It can't be a lineman. That would just let your fan base down. I don't know if the fan base gets excited. I know it's not about the fan base. I don't know if you get excited about an Arvell Reese. I just don't at all.
The cameras are on that man right
now.
there.
They went to Arvell. But he's not on. You know what? He's not on there, Coop. He's not on the phone right now.
Well, he didn't have to be on the phone. The phone call's already come in. It's already come in.
Just look at the difference in physical stature between him and David Bailey. I've never seen either one of them without clothes on. I mean, without a uniform on.
Yeah.
Well, does it make a difference that his parents are both military type?
You're saying he's in better shape than David Bailey?
He lives through a different regiment.
There are Arizona Cardinal fans in Pittsburgh.
Well, why wouldn't you be? A beautiful Pittsburgh on a Thursday night, Dale. Why wouldn't you be there?
Arizona Cardinal fans cheering it in.
Well, they have to be invited by the team or something because they had really good seats there. Pick is in. All of a sudden, I got nervous here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Get the dump button ready, guys.
Here comes good.
Cardinals are
So
traded.
you say Love. I say Reese. Who do you say, Dale? Here,
I say trade.
No, they would have already announced that.
No, I don't think they have. That's what they.
No, I was going to say they would have already did it. And actually, Schefter just put out a tweet saying they are staying at number 3 with the third pick in the 2026 NFL draft.
I don't believe it.
I don't even have to announce it, folks.
I don't believe it.
This
Are
reaction.
you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me?
Coop, who are your Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah.
Who are your Arizona Cardinals?
Wow. Let me
I'm
tell
sorry,
you.
Jeremiah Love, Kobe. Sorry.
Wow.
we got to tell Kobe here.
You know, people. I did a draft back in February
Yes.
before the Super Bowl. Jeremiah Love was my guy, and I just knew the Cardinals wouldn't take him. And here we are, like 2.5 months later, they actually took the man.
You talked it into existence, Coop. You really did, because everybody was
Oh,
offensive
my
line.
God.
Wait until the combine. Then your buddy Cam Cox at Channel 12 started tweeting how much he liked him after he ran really well at the draft.
Well,
at the combine.
Cam took
Cam
my
came
Yeah.
to you.
Well, we brought that up on the show after that. I was like, all right, you talked to Cam, right? Because he just hyped it up. Then in the last 3 or 4 days, when did I come into the program and I said, I think it's Jeremiah Love or it's a trade down, because just the smoke around it. Now it's draft season here, and I agree with you.
I don't
You know what this
believe
tells
it.
me also, Coop? Do you know what this tells me, Dale?
Oh my gosh.
The new head coach, they're listening to him in this
No,
draft.
I
round.
don't know if it's the new head coach or if it's the owner.
You think the owner? Well, what I'm saying is the new
that
head
could
coach wants this type of player on the team, so somebody at least got that right guy in there. Because traditionally, as we know, the Cardinals picked the wrong guy in this position,
Well,
and they got the guy that the off. Just now with Marvin Harrison. Now here's the deal: forget about Marvin Harrison if he doesn't learn to catch. You got Wilson who can catch. This type of a player on this
he can
team.
catch, yeah.
This is, I'm not going to say he's Puka Nacua, but he can come out of the backfield. He can line up on the
Oh, he
outside.
most certainly
He
can.
could change the whole offense around, which will open up Marvin Harrison and the other side here as well.
So now the draft slobber's coming.
Let's go.
Hey, he actually brought up Puka Nacua.
I'm not saying he's him. I'm saying he can play that role, Wes Werkel type role, where he's going to Debo Samuels in his prime, where it opens up the offense a little bit, is what I'm getting at here.
Look at this.
As well.
You see this right here? You see this? Hey, let me tell you something.
Yeah, but he's playing some unknown team there called Indiana. I mean, come on. What have they done lately? Come on, Goop.
Hey, let me tell you something. During his career at Notre Dame, he had 4 touchdown runs of over 90 yards. And how many people do that? He has a great spin move. He catches. Look, watch how he's going to catch the ball. He catches the ball like a receiver.
Yeah, one-handed right there on that highlight there as well.
He just and so all of a sudden, you know how the Cardinals anytime they play the 49ers, our DC has to send in like a defensive back because linebackers can't stay with Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
They're going to have to do the same thing with Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
And so all that does is it creates more opportunities for you offensively. It opens more areas up.
That's all I was saying. Was
Yeah.
it's going to open up Wilson? It's
yeah.
going to open up Marvin Harrison.
Well, it can
and
get Trey McBride some more drags. You know, I mean, because
Trey McBride catches the ball 5 yards out, and that's all he can get. You know, with those relief patterns.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So
I know.
like
Sorry, Trey.
You have linebackers. You have linebackers who are going to try to match up with McBride now because you can only have so many defensive backs in.
Yeah.
And so they're going to try to have to match up with Jeremiah Love. And let me tell you something. Trey McBride, he's like Mr. Velcro. I mean, that's why I love the guy. He just doesn't drop passes. And he runs effectively after the catch. I think his inclusion on the Cardinals roster, I think it just opens up this entire offense. It opens up the offense like we haven't seen in some while.
Oh, my gosh. All they need is their quarterback not to hold out, Coop.
Well, let me tell you something. That's why I would not have gotten rid of Kyler Murray because now you're starting to put better players around Murray.
If you guys don't know, I just teed him up for that. I threw that softball right in there, that grenade in there, and just sit back at that point. Jeremiah Love, if you don't know, running back Notre Dame there, 212 pounds, 6 foot tall, 199 carries. By the way, his stats over 12 games in 2025, 199 carries, 1,372 rushing yards, 18 rushing touchdowns, 27 catches, 280 receiving yards, 3 receiving touchdowns as well for him. And as I said, I saw a lot of people comparing him to Reggie Bush.
Yeah.
As well out there, and he's a big guy. That's the other side of it.
Yeah.
Cardinals would go with small running backs for these positions in the past. He's a big guy. He's gonna truck some guys.
Yeah, and here's the deal too.
Titans pick is in, by the way.
When you talk about yards from scrimmage, I think he's the last 2 years yards from scrimmage. I think he's number 2, and he has 40 total touchdowns over the last 2 years. 4-0.
Yeah.
This man has a nose for the end zone, and he's just so darn explosive that he just makes plays. And so I can't believe what I just saw.
Coop needs a break here,
I
folks.
Really can't, I can't believe what
He
I
needs
just
to
saw.
break it. And you know what? I'm a small things guy. I think little things matter. The touchdown highlights that they showed. You know what I noticed about him?
What?
Ran through the goal line.
I was like, yeah. Oh, okay. I was
Ran
gonna say,
through the goal
I was gonna
line,
say untouched is
But
what I was gonna say.
both hands on the ball. No holding it out. No gonna drop it on the half-yard line. No, and again,
By the way, Tennessee Titans pick is coming up here, Dale.
look at this. I don't know if this is gonna be a 5-hour draft.
I
think this is where Arvell Reese
I
goes.
think Arvell Reese here, right? Well, their head coach, defensive head coach, obviously moving into that position and everything. I'd be shocked if this isn't Arvell Reese here
What
at
about
this point.
Baines?
There we go.
Oh,
Carnell Tate,
Tate.
wide receiver.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm
Well-
actually surprised by that a little bit. Not just because of that offense. Oh, there's an agent got to be involved, of course, as well. But yeah, Carnell Tate, Ohio State wide receiver, going to the Titans.
I didn't see that.
No.
I didn't, but I will say this. The Titans, they need playmakers on their. I mean, name me their top receiver.
Well, I mean, here's the other
just
side.
can't.
The rumors were if the Jeremiah Love was here, they were going to take him. That's what all the mock drafts were
is that
saying.
right? Okay.
So they were looking for an offensive piece. I just think there's a big difference between Carnell Tate and who's the quarterback in Tennessee? If you catch my drift.
They drafted him first last year.
Yeah.
Cam.
Cam Ward. But that's what I mean. So you need some talent on that side, and for that, there's a difference between Love and Tate at this point. But you do got to get Cam Ward some help.
You do.
I'm just shocked with the head coach being a defensive guy. It's not a defensive. Here we go. Slide. Arvell Reese sliding. He was supposed to go number 2 for the Jets.
Well, the Giants are at number 5. The Giants get him.
Oh, come on. That's Jordan Tyson.
No, Jordan. They'll take Jordan Tyson at 10.
Well, the Saints might take him at 8. That's going to be the question mark.
Oh,
here, so.
you two knuckleheads. Jordan Tyson's not going top 10. He plays 50% of the games in college, Coop. He ain't going to play more in the NFL.
But here's the other thing that kind of surprises me about this. Just going off of big boards and how people have these guys ranked, Carnell Tate's the 8th best player in this draft, according to like Mel Kiper and those guys like that. When you still have Sonny Styles, right, a linebacker there. Arvell Reese is still available as well. So Caleb Downs is safety. So going this route here, it's kind of interesting. And the Giants ran up there because their pick's already in as well at this point. This draft is crazy. Everybody knows who they want, guys.
Yeah, they should. I mean, look, look. I don't think the Giants thought for 1 minute that Arvell Reese would fall to 5 too.
Yeah, I agree
so
with you.
I think they'll take him there.
Well, they
and
need
then,
right.
and-
Dexter Lawrence is
yeah,
gone.
and-
You need a replay, even though they're different
Right.
positions. You
And-
need to replenish that.
And the reason why Dale doesn't know this, look, the Giants, as you know, they took Jackson Dart and
Cam
some guy
Scatterboo.
named Cam Scatterboo. They injected life into that New York fan base like none other.
Yeah,
When they came to Jordan Tyson's pro day here in Tempe,
I saw that.
Scatterboo came as well. Scatterboo is pushing.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's
Their
a
front
4th round pick
It
last
doesn't
year.
matter.
They ain't
Hey,
listening to
Jordan
him.
Tyson.
yes,
Jordan
they will.
Tyson's going to the Giants. I agree with you 100% on
He'll-
that.
Now, Coop, here's the
He'll
thing.
team up with Malik Neighbors.
Okay, I like that, but here's the thing, Coop.
get your defensive
if
guy
you were
here.
still working, what I wanted to know when they took him to dinner in Scottsdale, was it, what was it that they took him to? Was it, Jack in the Box? or
Yeah, because that'll tell you if they're interested or,
or was
not,
it
right?
Drinkwater Steakhouse?
With that Coke and Barrel or whatever it's called, and all of that. I do like Carnell Tate as a receiver. I just think that Titans. I figured their coach would, build from the other side. But hey, what do I know?
Robert Salah.
Oh yeah, Robert Salah. Yeah. So really quick, just to get caught up on some of this, Braxton says, "Sorry I was late, but is the special guest waiting until pick 21?" Yeah. So he's not going to make it, guys. If you listen to KUPD this morning, the reason why Dale was on the show the whole time, he's not doing well. He's not feeling well, is what we're saying here. So he missed his show this morning. So not able to make it in today. So our special guest not making it tonight because of under the weather there. So just to let everybody know out there and everything, and miss him. He'll join us another time. But Yeah, obviously a big Pittsburgh
Look
guy
at
as well.
Jeremiah Love.
Yeah. But look at that. If you saw the reaction, we didn't even announce it. Poor Kobe's in there, wondering who was picked. And we're just
I honestly
there
cannot
wondering.
believe it. I just cannot believe it. I just don't believe
Let's
it.
go,
And let me tell you something.
I'm with you on this. This floors me.
And this is what's really, and I do believe what Dale said, that I think that Michael Bidwell was a big part of this.
You think so?
think
I do. I do.
Well, I'm
And-
not
and-
saying he's not, but I'm saying
and let me
this is
tell
a
you,
guy the head coach wanted.
Well, you know, that I don't know him, but I do know this. Michael his fan base feels betrayed. They're alienated. You've talked about it. Season ticket holders.
I'm a
So,
season ticket
you know,
holder.
You've talked about how the casitas and the high-end
Nobody buys
corporate
them.
dollar takes place over the everyday fan.
And nobody's buying them.
Right. And so then the fan base now gets really upset. And so you really can't rally around an offensive lineman. A defense.
You're not going to rally around an Arvell Reese.
No, a quarterback, a running back, or a receiver, they can rally around. Well, you took your receiver a couple years in, and there no quarterback here. They took Jeremiah Love. There's no question today who the face of the Cardinals is right now. It's no longer Larry Fitzgerald. He's been gone for 5-6 years, but he was probably still the face of the Cardinals.
Oh, it's who you think of. Yeah.
Jeremiah Love is the new face, and I think Michael Bidwell was smart enough to understand this. He said, look,
I don't
here's
give
the
him
way-
that much
here-
credit, too. That's
well,
my problem.
Let me tell you something. He's a smart businessman for sure. So he knows he's heard all the talk. He's
I agree with
he's seen
you.
those emails come in.
Yeah.
How can I win my fan base back over? I can take a guy who's high on my draft board, and he comes at a position that is very visible and that the fans can really gravitate and attach to.
The thing here to also realize is you were, I give you all the credit, you were the first person that said Jeremiah Love. After the combine, you saw some other guys kind of pump on it. The last couple of days, it's been a big name out there. But you were the first one on that to right off the bat, right here at the main event, no less, on top of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because we're never that right. You got to stop that. We're never that right. We're always way off.
Let me tell you something. I've been doing the draft for the Cardinals since they came here in '88. The first year I ever hit on a car, I went from '88 to 2004 when they took some guy named Larry Fitzgerald.
Right.
That's the first time I ever hit. Then about maybe 5, 6, 7 years later, they took some guy named Patrick Peterson. Again, that's the second time I had hit. And I don't want to talk about the third one.
So you will admit that you do miss every once in a while.
Look, the Cardinals had the 29th pick in the draft this particular year.
So that's after the playoff run.
They took some guy named Robert Comdici.
And you were high on Condici too, huh?
And I did that.
Remember that, Dale? It was, oh my God, Condici slid down to the Cardinals.
Yeah, and then there was Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And everybody was telling me that I was high out of my mind. I said, no way the Cardinals.
They could have gotten Kyler Murray to lower draft.
I said,
pick.
there's no way they're going to draft Kyler a year after they just drafted Josh Rosen 10 overall. And I told him, dude, Josh Rosen can't even carry Kyler's jockstrap. I mean, it's not. And I didn't even believe I didn't believe the Cardinals would take him.
Right.
But sure enough, they did. And look, here's the deal. I've said this before. Kyler was Rookie of the Year, back-to-back Pro Bowl. And I'm telling you something. If they had kept players intact, and just built around him, because I think he's going to do some special things in Minnesota. When they got a guy named Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, he's got and T.J. Hawkinson, he's got some talent over there.
Yeah, you could tell, Dale. I think Vikings are winning 13 games this year and going on a run. Now, what they do in the playoffs will be another story. But they got a piece that's going to help out that.
Right. There's no question. And so when the Cardinals when they started off the season 7-0 and 10-2, after DeAndre Hopkins got hurt. It kind of knows that. But in the offseason, dude, they let Christian Kirk get away.
Yeah. Well, that was, but they weren't paying that much. He was overpaid to go.
Well, Christian Kirk was their deep threat.
I don't disagree.
And DeAndre Hopkins was their guy that if it was third down, fourth down, you need a touchdown. Even the Hail Mary that he throws against Kyler throws against Buffalo, there's DeAndre Hopkins in the end zone with 3 Buffalo Bills draped around him, makes a catch, touchdown, Cardinals win. That type of player has been devoid of the Cardinals. And so I give them all the credit in the world for trying to at least go get Marvin Harrison.
Well,
Man,
look at this. The New York Giants pick Arvell Reese on the defensive side.
You knew that was going to happen.
Absolutely. He's fallen down to them. They have to be ecstatic. And Harbaugh, right? Defensive coach. Loves his defense there. I'll tell you this, Scoop, just to look ahead here, this tells me even more that unless the Saints take Jordan Tyson at 8, Giants are taking him
ain't
at
going
10.
top 10.
Let me tell you something.
But Arvell Reese, they got their defensive guy that they needed. Now they'll switch to the other.
Ohio State Buckeyes might go back to back
right
with this
here.
Cleveland pick.
Isn't that crazy? And they didn't win the national championship. Couldn't beat Indiana because of Fernando Mendoza.
So Arvell Reese gets his name called here. 5th pick to the New York Giants. If you don't know him, obviously edge linebacker out of his biggest complaint is short arms, which is Dale's favorite thing for linemen out there. But he's explosive, 69 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, 9 run stops, 2 pass breakups. He doesn't come off of the line like an edge guy would do there. But he will come in with some severe he's violent when he comes in.
He's more of a bull or a power rusher because, like I said, he played a lot of his time inside linebacker. Now, hey, look up, it's driving me crazy. Who was the Cardinals inside linebacker that's been their captain?
Let me look that up. But first, Chiefs are now on the clock. We have a trade here.
The Kansas City Chiefs?
As well. Chiefs have traded up here, just announced as well. So Chiefs
they moved,
are now coming up.
From 9 to 6?
9 to 6.
Wow.
Cleveland traded out.
They are not taking. They're not taking Jordan Tyson.
Well, here's the thing. Why do you move up if you're Kansas City at this point? You've got Sonny Styles, a linebacker from Ohio State. You've got Caleb Downs as safety. You've got Jordan Tyson, Francis Malawaga, Spencer Fano. The next wide receiver, you have to go with Lemon, right?
I like Mekhi Lemon a lot from USC.
But isn't this a little bit early to be taking him here?
But I think
so Chiefs in a trade with the Browns.
If you look at what Kansas City did, Kansas City, they made a trade. They traded their top corner. They traded him away. So I don't know if they're trying to move up to take a corner here. But if so, I don't know why.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's not a skill player because what do the Chiefs' offense do? They've been lacking in those guys these last couple years.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the offensive skilled players you're talking about.
Yeah.
There was no need to get above Cleveland for who is it?
That's the thing.
You're not going to move ahead for Mekhi Lemon, or you're not going to move ahead for Jordan Tyson.
Well,
those are the next 2 best receivers.
Well, that's saying they just signed Kenneth Walker III, so you got that improved skill position.
They're not going for a running back. They're not going for a running back.
So, but you're moving up from 9th to 6 here for one specific guy. To me, it tells me it's got to be a defensive guy.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying I'm thinking that it's going to either be Sonny Styles because look, Leo Chanel was one of their inside linebackers. He left. Now they can bring in a guy like Sonny Styles, who's certainly more athletic, had more lateral quickness up inside. He can run sideline to sideline a little better. I'm going to say they moved up for Sonny Styles.
Really? So now we kind of passed on Arvell Reese here with the news of the trade there, but I like this for the Giants. Dexter Lawrence obviously got disgruntled. They sent him out there. New coach, likes defense. And I expect him to build up on the defensive side a little bit, while also, but also he's got a pretty decent offense when Neighbors comes back here as well. So I like what Harbaugh's doing there in Giants land with this rebuild that they're going through. They finally have a coach that knows what he's doing. Maybe it's going to lead to something.
They
here
practice too hard, though, Steve.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then did you see Zay Flowers got extended today as well?
Yeah,
brought back in after saying that.
The Chiefs knew who they wanted,
Absolutely.
and I do believe it's not an offensive talent; it's a defensive talent, and I think they're going for Sonny Styles here.
Wouldn't shock me at all now. Schefter's giving us some information right here. But so what did they give up besides the 9th overall pick and a third and a 5th round pick to move up? Look at that.
To move up 3 spots.
To move up 3 spots. This better be a stud. Is Sonny Styles worth this type of a move up? Now, obviously, to move up like this, you think somebody's going to take the guy you want before it gets to your position. Otherwise, you're not making this trade. So I don't know if Sonny Styles is that guy.
I think Andy Reid just said, "Let's do this. Get it over. I want to go have some barbecue."
It's either Styles or Downs.
I like Downs better than Styles. I don't know about you
Okay.
in terms of that, but I think time to start rebuilding this defense here. Kenneth Walker took care of a lot of problems with the Chiefs.
Oh, sure he did. Sure he did.
Coming up onto that side. So here we go. Let's see who this is as we're just blatantly waiting here because I'm intrigued. You're moving up 3 spots for
They
giving
gave
up
a
3
third
picks.
and a 5th round for this guy right here.
And it's look at that,
It is
Monsieur
the corner.
Delane.
I sat up here and said that they traded their best corner, and now
He would have been there at 9.
Yes,
God.
He would have
he
been
would
there
have
at
been
9.
there at 9.
He would have been there at 9. What are you doing?
All right, now it's getting stupid, so I'm going to some pizza.
Yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
can talk.
Hell, go. We'll take a break here in just
no
a minute.
Kidding. See, this is bizarre.
LSU cornerback Monsieur Delaney.
Their corner that they traded, he was played at the University of Washington. He's been there. He's been like one of the lockdown. I'm just having a trouble remembering names today. But I talked about that. But I'm like, you wouldn't trade up for
That's
him.
what I mean.
That's why I said it was Sonny Styles.
You have
Downs.
to think. Yeah, Sonny Styles could be gone before 9. I just don't think he would have. Now maybe they got some intel or something, or sometimes you just like a guy. But you gave up a 3rd and a 5th. Along with the 9th there to switch up to this, man. I'm kind of surprised by this going into it, to be honest with you. He's not a bad player. I'm not saying that.
No.
It's just what?
He's the best corner in the draft, but I'm telling you, I believe he would have been there at 9 if they hadn't done anything.
I mean, it's just an amazing thing here for the Chiefs. You know what, though, Coop? It is hard. It is hard to second guess Andy Reid and the Chiefs. I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, look I'm just telling you this that. We're not poo-pooing on the player.
No, it's not
because
the player.
because
he's a solid player.
He's the best corner in the draft.
Yeah.
All right, but what I'm saying is that Cleveland at 6, Washington at 7, and New Orleans at 8 weren't going to take him.
Yeah, I mean, the rumors was they were going to get Reuben Bain Jr. Some of the mock drafts I saw, Reuben Bain Jr. at 9 when they were at 9 to Kansas City Chiefs. But a lot of the mock drafts have here, I have kind of the thing here. Cleveland Browns taking Francis Mauaga, which I think this is good for the Browns if they trade it down because they could possibly get him at 9 if they really like him, if they want to go that route. But Washington Commanders, I think they're taking Sonny Styles. That's why I was thinking it was Sonny Styles. Commanders need that defensive presence here as well. So I thought maybe that might be why they jumped up. Saints, they want a receiver. Carnell Tate's off the board. This could be Jordan Tyson. I've seen that in several mock drafts. If not, I do believe he's going 10th here. We'll see. So my point is he would have been there at 9. This is why you give up a 3rd and a 5th to get there. You must have really, really loved this guy if you're moving up in that position.
Something spooked them to the point to where they said, we got to get up and get our guy now.
And don't forget, guys, we're live on YouTube. We're live on, of course, Real Bat TV as well. The nice thing about the YouTube feed right now, get on there, talk to us as well. We can't hear any of the broadcasts or anything, so let us know if they're saying something on why the Chiefs come up, if you will, as well. Farmer Braxton does say Coop's nerves must feel better after, of course, Love's pick. And I was confident in the pick, Coop. I'm with you. I am floored today because this is like when the Sun Devils hired Dillingham. It was such an obvious coaching hire. But in the back of my mind, I kept going, but they don't make the right choices on this stuff. No. And that's how I felt about Love as well from that side out there. So here, and then the Chiefs, just what is going on here with them? Commanders are in. The pick is in right now for the 7th one here. Now it'll be interesting. Does Cleveland stick with an offensive? Because they need offensive help. Do they stick with an offensive lineman here at 9? Because everybody they wanted, if they wanted that at 6, is going to be there at 9.
Right. Whether it's
I think this is going to be Sonny Styles right here, but maybe Caleb Downs, but one of those guys coming up here for Commanders. They just need some. Now, don't forget the.
Well, what they need more than anything, they need a healthy quarterback.
Well, that's for
sure. They got to have Jaden Daniels healthy.
What I was just going to say was they blew out their offensive coordinator. They blew out their defensive coordinator this year. They're changing the style that they play with. So this will be interesting to see and kind of tell us what we are looking at here from that perspective. So how's the pizza, Dale?
You guys are missing out talking about all this nonsense.
We'll take a break here. Well, we didn't expect a trade there from 9 to 6 by the Chiefs.
Yeah,
to take the lane.
Well, look, and gosh, I'm just so upset I can't remember the corner's name.
Yeah, you need to take a break
from the Washington Huskies. The Chiefs traded him and they picked up some extra draft capital. And what they did is they said, okay, we have to replace him. And God, what's his name? My gosh, it's driving me crazy. I can't think of his name. And but they get Mansour Delane, who's a top-rated corner in this draft.
It's not the player we're complaining about.
Yeah, it's definitely the
going
the
at
pick.
6 and trading up and giving up essentially 3 draft picks.
You gave they only gave
swap,
up 2.
a swap, and
they
then
gave
a
up a
2.
3rd and a 5th to move up 3 slots for a guy
So-
that would have been there at their
because I don't
pick at
think
9.
anybody's taken that as well. Washington selections in. Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State here. Doesn't surprise me at all that's the case. That's why I thought maybe Chiefs moved up to go get Sonny Styles. You talked about that a little bit.
I did too.
And that's why I thought they would have moved up. It just doesn't make sense to move up 3 spots for a guy that'll be there at 9. Now it would be something else if they wanted Styles, obviously, from that perspective. Yeah, so Sonny Styles, Ohio State linebacker to the Commanders. The Commanders are an interesting thing to me this year just because their, head coach is revamping the team, and got rid of the coordinators, wants to do it in his own terms and everything. It'll be interesting to see. And I will say this, Jordan Tyson is officially on the watch right here with the New Orleans Saints at number 8. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm saying it wouldn't shock me with their rookie quarterbacks and everything.
Well, yeah. Here's the deal. I think Tyler Shuck has definitely showcased himself as the starter going in. And so I believe that the Saints will look to get some offensive line protection.
You think
for
offensive
him.
line instead?
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going Jordan Tyson. I'm just saying they liked him a lot, not as much as the Giants. But he is somebody to watch here. But I agree with you. They need so many other things there in New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they value Malnoa or Fano. But I think this is where we see our first offensive.
And that'll
line.
be interesting because Cleveland, I believe Cleveland was going to upgrade their offensive line in that 6th spot. Trading out of it, they've opened themselves up to lose one of those guys.
Look, the Cleveland traded down and they picked up an extra 3rd and an extra 5th, and they're still going to get an offensive line.
Well, that's the thing. They're obviously comfortable. If they are going to go offensive line, they're comfortable with either guy, right? Is what we're learning here.
And now I think they'll have their choice because because the Saints are going to. I think the Saints are taking.
You think Saints are going with one of them right now as well? So Saints have so many issues, man, that it's like wow. And look, Kellen Moore, right? Just offensive guy on top of it. So I expect an offensive side here from the Saints. To build up that side of the game. You've lost obviously one of the better defensive linemen in Cam. Cam Jordan also with the Saints. That's a big hole to fill on that backside as well. So we'll see here. Saints pick is in. We'll see what's coming up here. But look, you're watching us live, right, on YouTube. TME Media Arizona is where you find our YouTube page as well. Robat TV for those of you with subscriptions. Appreciate you joining us here on this draft pick. It's just flying. I didn't expect it to go this quick. I thought we'd have time for some breaks.
Well, I
chow
think,
down a little bit.
I think they gave each team 8 minutes this year.
10 minutes.
Is it till 10 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, but and they start the clock like as soon as the other pick is in. They start the clock, so it feels like less time as it rolls through it as well. So Saints now Cleveland's next up. And then the Giants at 10. So Dale doesn't think so, but I'm telling you guys, I think Jordan Tyson's going in one of these
hope. A guy can't play 50% of his games and be a top
I'm not
10
saying
pick.
if I was the Giants, I would do it. I'm just telling you.
He missed 17 of his 51 games.
That's half. Cool.
Yeah. And Dale, he certainly did have some injury issues, but I'm telling you, when you had a fan base that was so ignited over your quarterback, Daxon Dart, and your running back, Cam Scatterboot, and Cam is telling you that, hey, look, here's the perfect complement to Malik Neighbors. We're getting Malik.
Don't forget, they have Malik Neighbors on this team, on the Giants team.
Do they need offensive linemen maybe too?
They do. But here's the deal. I think they're going for their playmakers now. They're difference makers now. Because they're of the opinion like I am. You can get a solid offensive lineman anywhere in the draft.
Yeah, Harbaugh's done that in Baltimore over the years. A lot of those offensive linemen weren't tie-in guys.
Heck, I can get one in the 4th round from SMU.
Maybe Maybe that's just Zay Flowers thinking they practice too hard.
Yeah, I think it's me.
Have you ever heard? Do you just roll your eyes as a lineman when a receiver says we're practicing too
We
hard?
practice and pass. You don't hit wide receivers.
Who are you hitting while you're running your route there, Zay Flowers, is the bigger question you got to ask out there as well. So look, this is moving quickly here as well as we go through it. Couple surprises here today on the draft. I expected some surprises. Just some of these
What's
are
the
just
biggest
blowing up.
surprise? The biggest surprise, the Cardinals?
I think the
I
only
know.
surprise, I am
Is
shocked.
the biggest
I'm
surprise the
shocked.
Cardinals?
Just because of the history. That's what I was saying. Just
their
the history.
but not the player deal.
Yeah.
But just the Cardinals.
I have no
Yeah.
problem with any player being taken so
look,
far in terms of what they do.
I had already talked myself down to a position where the Cardinals couldn't hurt me because I knew they weren't going to
Hurt
take him.
you.
Yeah. Well,
I knew they weren't going to take
Coop,
him.
you've been at home. We're getting ready for the draft all week, but all week long I've been like, I'm convinced it's Jeremiah Love or trade down. And the only reason I was leaving the trade down in there because I was like, that's what they're going to do.
that wouldn't surprise me either. But I think right as it stands right now, I'm only been really shocked and surprised by KC trading up.
I don't
spots.
understand that
Because
at all.
I really do believe Mansour Delane would have been available at 9.
Yeah.
They did not have to.
I'm floored by that. There must be something we don't know about that we'll find
So
out
you're
about
not buying
later.
into I think Andy Reid had a dinner engagement tonight.
Well, no, it's possible.
And
Yeah,
he
but
said, hey, let's draft him, but
dinner-
let's move up and get the hell out of
a
here.
dinner engagement for Andy Reid is a burger and
well,
fries.
well, he can't get out of here because he also has a pick
Yes,
number
20.
29.
He's got 29
Oh, he's
coming
got
up.
2, that's right.
Yeah. Like 6 teams have 2 draft picks, in this draft coming up as well. So this is going to be fascinating here on the Saints. Pick is in. Of course, we're just waiting here as well. We got a minute here of commercials coming our way. But that's the thing. The Cardinals' surprise isn't that it isn't Love himself. It's that they pulled the trigger and got the guy that
they should
brings
have.
excitement to this team.
Absolutely, that's great.
Cardinals don't do that.
That's well said. Absolutely, they really don't. They really
And
don't.
now, other than that, I think it's gone pretty well as thought. Now, Bailey was a new guy for the Jets lately, so that could be a surprise. Arvell Reese slipping a little bit. He was always projected as a second there. So, I mean, that could be considered a surprise as well going into this. But overall, I think it's falling exactly the way. Like, I don't have a problem with the Chiefs pick. It's just, why did you move up for it?
Here are people right now.
Who people are messaging?
I can hear you clear as
Yeah, look at he's not kidding.
Yeah,
He's got somebody's complaining about their hair, Coop, right there as well. Is that your daughter? But yeah, no, Coop's phone is lighting up with that Jeremiah Love pick. Cam Cox hit you up here. I know he's out at the Cardinals draft party tonight, I believe.
yeah,
but
he probably
he's probably hitting you up as well, going, "Hey, you made me look smart tonight by saying that, Coop, giving me that information."
Yeah, well, let's put it like this. I've missed out on more Cardinal first round picks than I've hit. But I look, all I wanted them to do is win. I'm just super excited because
I think this opens up the offense.
Yeah, I really do.
I think it takes pressure off Marvin Harrison Jr. too, because he was the guy on this offense and just kept failing and dropping.
That is true. Now he's no longer under the spotlight now.
No,
the spotlight shifts to Love. You're absolutely 1,000%
Yeah,
correct.
I think the spotlight should always be Trey, the tight end, obviously. But then, Love will kind of be there to bail him out as well. And so that way, if he's not open on his routes, he's not going to get the ball thrown to him, and he's not going to drop it.
Things worked out perfectly for the Cardinals because I know the receiver that you like that I didn't want them to bring back had number 4.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Dortch. Dortch, yeah.
Greg Dortch.
No, I just like Dortch out of the back. Now that you have Love, Dortch is...
Yeah, so number 4 is free.
Yeah, Love takes that spot as well. That 4 number's cursed. And I don't mean that because somebody that won number 4, isn't with us anymore. Jordan Tyson, Arizona State to the Saints. Told you. He's in play. Jordan Tyson, Arizona State. New Orleans Saints there as well. Dale, I will take your Steve as a know-it-all on air anytime you'd like to give it to me.
Holy smokes.
We're not going to say another word until Dale...
Can I put it this way?
Kobe, get Dale on the screen right here. This
This
disappointment.
doesn't make sense. The Saints will always Saints.
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like this pick for the Saints. I don't not like Jordan Tyson. I don't like the Saints taking Jordan Tyson. Like I said, they lost out obviously an All-Pro defensive lineman this year. But it doesn't surprise me, and that's kind of my thinking on the Saints is because Kellen Moore, Dale.
Yeah, well here's the deal. You now have Chris Olave and Jordan Tyson, and even though Alvin Kamara is getting long in the tooth,
Yeah, they're gonna let him go.
He's still. I think he's still very valuable to keep on that team. You can get another year out of him for sure, and so. Tyler Shuck just needs, whether it was him or Spencer Rattler, they definitely need more weapons. And I
Absolutely.
I absolutely like this. Look, when Jordan Tyson is healthy, he's an elite receiver. But as Dale talked about, and we all know this, the guy spends a lot of time on that.
That's the problem. It's
Here's the
you've
thing
got
that
to
nobody
stay
ever
healthy.
talks about, Coop, and I heard somebody talk about this about 3 months ago. If you get hurt in college and you expect the guy to get hurt less when he goes to the NFL, then you're playing with fools.
Look at Jordan.
Gold.
He's dropped to one knee. He's
No,
so
yes.
overcome. Now his brother was a first-round pick of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cavaliers, yeah.
And he
You look how much he's spending.
and he's the third best player on the Cavaliers team.
Yeah, I mean, he's excited.
Yeah. You know.
Look at that. He's emotional right now
Yes,
going
sir.
up
Because
here
he's
for the
going, I
Saints.
knew I wasn't going to be drafted this high.
Well, let me tell you
That is
something.
emotion right
I tell
there,
you
man.
What, the Giants are just screwed now. They may
That's the problem. That's who they wanted.
Yeah, it is. And so I don't know if they're going to try and reconnoiter and try to take Mekhi Lemon here or whatever, if they're going to stay on the defensive side of the ball or maybe even go an offensive lineman because there's not been a lineman.
No, what they're saying
Look
right
at
now,
this.
what they're trying now is they're saying, now how are we going to expense that City Hall dinner that we're taking
That's still a write-off. You know, it's recruiting. Here's the thing, right? You just saw Carnell Tate go to the Titans. Yeah. Jordan Tyson now, the two best receivers are off the board now early in this draft. So maybe the Giants switch here and go with I just forgot his name. The other wide receiver, I'll get it here in a second.
Lemon?
Lemon, yeah. From USC because I think that was the Giants' plan was to make those types of moves.
Hey, look, this is great for ASU.
Look at this emotion.
This is great for ASU because they had two portal transfers. Omarion Miller came from Colorado. He's trying to follow the same footsteps same path that Tyson did. Tyson left Colorado, went to ASU, tutored by some guy named Hines Ward.
Yeah.
He's trying to do that.
Deion Sanders didn't want him there, remember?
Yeah,
Rumor has it.
And so they had a couple guys follow this. I wish I'm trying to read what he said.
Yeah, just he said I'm just so thankful, so blessed. The Lord's doing work on me. He's not done. I'm going to keep on rolling. I'm going to give him my all, and that's all I can do, is what he said. But he said it a lot more teary and spitty than I did.
When does the
He's
run
emotional.
on the guys up front start?
I think it starts. I
Cleveland.
think it starts with number 9 at Cleveland.
Right here, right
You
now.
think?
Pick is in. I think that's why Cleveland traded down. Robert says, because he's listening to other people besides us as well, he says they're saying the Commanders wanted Delane. So that might be why. And that might be
really?
the case.
Okay.
That might be the case.
Okay, well, that makes sense then.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the only reason why the Chiefs should have traded. That's what I was saying. They must have gotten word that a trade-up's possible, and they really liked him.
So you're telling me
well.
that we can't believe NFL teams in lion season, but the NFL teams believe other teams?
Yeah, well, that's the other side of it. Look, Robert also says Tyson to the Saints. Hope Helly makes it back to see him go in the top 10. For the record, Ellie was here. He was here. He saw it. He was sitting exactly like that while it was happening. He wasn't on camera because he was stuffing his face with pizza. But he was here and saw it. He was disgruntled.
Yes.
As well. I actually didn't see Tyson to the Saints until yesterday was the first time I saw it. It kind of shocked me at that point, but the more I looked into it, the more I saw it. It made perfect sense with the new coach.
Well, sure. I mean, you can pair him up with Chris Olave. I mean, that makes their offense a little bit more dynamic. It gives Tyler Shuck another receiver to go to. Because keep in mind, they traded their big deep threat to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Coop, you've done more studying than Steve and I have. Who's the top offensive lineman on your draft board?
You better say it in a hurry because he's about to go off the pick,
well,
maybe.
I think it's Fano.
Oh, Fano. He said that before it came up on the screen. Spencer Fano goes from Utah, of course, offensive tackle. Cleveland Browns here. as well. Was Fano the one with short arm?
And let me tell you something. His other tackle is a guy that played at Highland High School in Gilbert, Caleb Lomu.
For Cleveland?
Yeah. No.
You mean
Miami?
Utah? For Utah.
He played with
Utah?
Fano.
Utah,
Yeah. He played at Utah. Yeah. Fano right there, and at the top of the screen, the left tackle is going to be Lomo. Now, I have a ex-photographer of mine who's at Lomo's house right now.
Really?
Yeah. He's through a draft party there. He's not. They expect him to go anywhere from 22 on down to like maybe 30. And there's a lot of people who think that the 49ers would, maybe.
Yeah, just with the 49ers need more talent. Giants are up here at 10. This has just gotten fascinating with Jordan Tyson going off the board because they wanted a wide receiver here at this spot.
Yeah.
I think that was part of their draft side.
Yeah.
But I like Fano as a lineman, especially on that right side as an offensive tackle. I don't know about the arm length. I know it is an issue. It's like quarterbacks with small hands and bad weather. I know it is an issue, but I mean, there's been some short-armed linemen that have done well in this league over the years and stuff like that. So, but Spencer Fano going ahead of the Miami kid.
The one thing that I'm interested to see is this Miami kid. You can talk all you want about, hey, I went for another physical
backup,
and I have something with a disc in my lower back.
That's a problem.
As a lineman.
And he just went. Miami offensive tackle.
Wow. They didn't waste any
goes
time.
to the New York Giants. That's a good pivot by the Giants if they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Francis Mariago. Mauigoa, Kobe. I'll help you out here. I told Kobe, everybody knows Kobe's not a Giant sports fan. And I said I might have to spell some of these names for you to find the graph.
So they get the Giants go back and look at what they did. They get a standout defensive player.
Arvell Reese.
Yeah, play on their. I guess you can flip flop him either on the first line.
He'll move around.
Or you can move him back in at the second.
I would argue he might be like a Lawrence Taylor type player if I wanted to. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm not comparing the two. Everybody settle down. But he might be that type where you can move him anywhere.
Yeah, he's a first and second level player. He can be first level on outside rush edge or second level at inside linebacker, inside Mike or whatever, and So then they come back and they get a guy that was rated on many boards as the best offensive lineman
he
in
fell.
the draft until some health.
The back concern. They'll know something about the back concern.
If he starts walking out there and all of a sudden he starts leaning forward a little bit and he can't stand there very long.
Wouldn't that be great if he's walking out to meet the commissioner and you see him lean forward and put his hand on his side for a second?
It cost me 2 rounds. I didn't even have a disc problem.
Well, he went down to 10, so it cost him a few picks as well. So the 2 top offensive linemen off the board here as well. Dale, your Dallas Cowboys, their pick is in here. What are we thinking on this pick?
Quick.
Who are we thinking on this? Well, Jerry Jones wanted, he knows who he wants.
Wait. I thought the Cowboys had pick number 12.
Yeah, coming up at 11. So, and then Miami coming up as well. Did a trade happen?
Trade.
I had, for some reason, I had Miami 11 and the Cowboys at 12.
Yeah, Cowboys had 12 and 20.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they're picking 11.
Why are you moving up one spot? Who would you give up draft capital for?
Well, they said they weren't going to trade into the top 5. They made a big deal about that as well. So on the Cowboys and everything, the Cowboys are going to cowboy. Isn't that what we say around here?
I'm really stunned here because one pick.
Yeah, because Miami Dolphins and Cowboys did trade there as well because, I'll say this, we're getting some of those top level guys that Cowboys were they needed offensive linemen, they need defensive linemen, they need pass rushers here as well. So I don't know who you take here to move up. You have your guy, obviously.
I mean, who would Miami threaten to take at 11 that they couldn't get at 12?
Right. And those are the things that make you go.
A lot of mock drafts I saw had the Cowboys taking a Delane, the cornerback, and going in that route.
Well, they ain't getting him now.
Well, obviously not. But that's a secondary side. I think this is a defensive pick for the Cowboys. Did you see they're not going to negotiate long-term with Pickens?
Yeah.
And maybe this is I'd say this could be a receiver, but the 2 best receivers are off the board.
Here's the deal with the Cowboys, what I'm thinking now. They got rid of Micah Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm trying to see what this trade was.
Is Reuben Bain in play for them here?
Possibly, because they do. You know what's Jerry complaining about? He complained about not having a pass rusher after getting rid of their pass rusher.
Yeah.
You know, and traded him as well. That's a good point. Bain could be in player because nobody's been talking about him. He's kind of fallen down a little bit. He was a highly, guy expected to go into this draft. You're right, but Miami wasn't going to take Bain, were they?
Well, he maybe. Well, probably not. Well, either that or it's got to be that they said, well, Caleb Downs is still on the board. That's what I'm getting at. We've got to get this guy. He's high. He's in our top 10 on our board, and here we are at 12. Miami might get him. We better get him while we can. So I think if they're going to make this type of move right here for move up one spot, it's got to be for somebody like Caleb Downs.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see what they gave up to move up one pick.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out here. I don't see anything yet here that says what they gave up for it. Doesn't mean it's not out there. Of course, we are. Fast. And this information is so fast out there. Oh gosh, next year, guys, we got to get hire a person just to feed us the info and keep us on track here with everything going on out there happening right now. So let's see here on the Schefters, where obviously we can probably get quick news on that.
Downs, right?
Let's see here.
You wouldn't move up for anybody but Caleb Downs, would you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Dale. It has to be.
Well, yeah, Cowboys get, but Dolphins, would they get him? Cowboys get number 11. Dolphins get number 12, number 177, number 180 as well.
So they flip-flop.
Obviously, one spot.
Yeah. They flip-flop fourth rounders.
Do you think the Miami said you can't take this guy if we give you this pick?
You don't do anything like that.
So 2 draft picks traded, basically moving one spot. I mean, that's a phenomenal move by the Dolphins.
So the Dolphins. You said that like one now they flip flop picks 177 and 180.
No, they went. The Cowboys they flipped the one spot, so they went. Dolphins went from 11 to 12. They get number 177 and number 180 from the Cowboys.
So really?
So they got two extra draft picks.
I thought you flipped. Okay.
No, this is according to Chef, this is a no-brainer move for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't accept that fast enough. You're going to give us 2 extra picks to move up one spot on a guy that we probably don't care if you take as well. Kind of an interesting thing happening right now. And it goes, these guys are supposed to be smarter than us and everything. And
they
just
put
sit back.
more time in it than Coop. Even Coop. They put more time in the Coop.
That's all they've been doing for the last 2 months.
Well, they basically got 2 6-round. Those picks are equivalent of 6 rounds, so they get 2 6-round picks.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I wasn't sure if one fell into the 7th round, on the edge there. Robert says, is this where we make fun of the Cowboys again? What do you mean again?
No, every year.
Here's the thing, though. If you like your guy, whether it be Downs or somebody else, if you like him and you're afraid somebody ahead of you is going to take him, if that's the case with the Chiefs, I won't fault them to move up 3 spots and give up the 2 extra draft picks if they were convinced that's the guy they need.
Yeah, but this has to be Baines or Downs.
That's what I mean. But if you like both of those guys, you'll get one of them, even if the Dolphins take them.
I think the Cowboys make that move to get Downs.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It is a 6th and a 7th.
Is that what it is? I do. I just right on that edge, and I'm not just sure on the numbers there. But it's it's an early 7th, as well.
I don't think they're going to take Baines because they need defensive linemen. They need to stop
the
run.
Jerry Jones complained we made fun of it all year long. Jerry Jones, we need somebody that can pass rush. We need somebody that can pass rush. Like, yeah, you had a guy that could do that. So I agree with you, Dale. I think I'd be shocked if this isn't Baines. They do need secondary, though, right?
And they have those as 2 5th-round picks.
Yeah, so, the other fifth, like I said, I went off of Twitter there. So they say 5th-round pick on ESPN.
I had them at 2 6, but I forgot that they're compensatory picks.
Oh, that's right.
In
between the 32, yeah.
I forgot about compensatories there. So 2 5th-round pick. This better be somebody you really wanted here.
Caleb Downs.
And it's coming up here as well from that side. And look.
I said Reuben Baines.
Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State.
Only thing that made sense.
I agree with you because they they had to get rid of their well, he hasn't been a stud in a while, but their secondary guy that I just forgot his name. His brother's also a troublemaker in New England now, or it was in New England. They lost him, so they needed that secondary help. But here's the interesting thing that Dale does bring up. Baines, they need that pass rusher.
Well,
Baines is somebody they could have gotten.
Downs is the type of player that can not only give you coverage, but you can bring him down in the
He'll
box.
be a Buda Baker type.
And blitz him, yeah.
Yeah, he'll come down and blitz and everything. I like this pick, but again, was Miami going to take him? Did you give up a couple 5th-round picks here in order to move up to a spot when he was sitting there? Dale, going back to Cowboys history here, who's getting sued after this in this room for doing something, disastrous to one of the women?
Well, I don't think Caleb Downs would be one of them.
I'm just talking about the war room for the Cowboys. One of Jerry Jones's daughters out there as well. But, they make him walk down that long hallway there and draft watch party there at the Cowboys land. Robert brings this up. Because we are on the 12th pick here of the Dolphins. Right after that is the Rams. Jay Glazer came out earlier today and said the Rams are taking Ty Simpson at number 13.
I'd be stunned.
Oh,
if the Rams did
I
that.
will fall out of this chair if that happens because he'll be there later on when they want to draft him, and it's one of those deals as well. So, I'm fine with the Cowboys pick here. I really am. I just don't know if he needed to move up to that spot.
I hope the Rams do take Ty Simpson.
Takes it out of the play for the Cardinals to move back into it.
Well, not only that, but it takes out a player that can impact them in this upcoming season because he's not going to start ahead of Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Caleb. By the way, Caleb Downs here, 2-time unanimous All-American, number 6 prospect overall by Mel Kiper as well. This is one heck of a pickup, I think, by the Cowboys. Yeah. And you can see here in this highlight package, if you're watching ESPN,
he's already blitzing
he can come in there and blitz. He can come in and blitz out the linebacker position,
and they're moving
let alone up close for that. But here he is right there with your buddy Love, too. What kind of block was that by Love? Did you see that? I know it wasn't. I was just giving Coop some hard time. Well, man, what's your boy doing not blocking right and stuff? He's the ball hawk also, which I do like as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's 3 Ohio State Buckeyes in the first 11 picks. No, 4.
Yeah, no, they were
4 Ohio State Buckeyes in the first.
Yeah, we were talking
picks.
about that like a month ago. That like the whole Buckeyes team could be drafted in this first round. It felt like because every time you look, they have 3 or 4 still available that can go in the first round even. From that perspective and everything, but Kobe put it out there on YouTube as well for you guys watching us as well on YouTube. Of course, TME Media AZ live on Robat TV as well. He says, Kobe wants to know who y'all think the Eagles are taking coming up in this draft. They need some linemen.
Eagles have pick number 23.
That's the problem.
And here's the deal. There's no question they're going to trade A.J. Brown.
They're trading him. Reportedly, he's going to the Patriots.
Right, but it has to be. It's going to be post June 1.
June 1, yeah.
All right, so you cannot go with just who's their slight receiver that they got. God, I'm losing his name. God, why am I having this problem? Javonte Smith.
Yeah. Good job, Kobe.
Javonte Smith is a slight receiver, and you can't go into a season with no A.J. Brown and just Devontae Smith as your new number 1.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith is the number 2. And so you have to go find a receiver at 23. Now, let's see. Let me think. I expect Mekhi Lemon to be gone. If I said Casey Concepcion, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. Denzel Washington from the University of Washington.
At 23.
Yeah, that's a guy who physically has the stature of like an A.J. Brown, and he can step right in there. So that's who I would give the Philadelphia Eagles at 23. Denzel Boston, wide receiver, University of Washington.
By the way, in terms of the big boards out there, like Mel Kiper's big board, the top 10 players on his big board are gone.
Did I say Denzel Washington? I'm going to say Denzel Boston.
Oh, yeah, Boston, not Washington.
I was just going to let
Boston.
you two yap over there.
I wasn't paying attention.
Denzel Boston,
Yes,
excuse me.
Boston.
Denzel Boston from the University of Washington.
Caden Proctor goes offensive tackle, Alabama to the Dolphins. That's that I don't get. That doesn't surprise me. So why did the Cowboys move up one spot?
Hey, let me tell you something. When Caden Proctor, I first saw him as a true freshman when Nick Saban was still coaching Alabama. I watched this kid in like the SEC championship game. Then I watched him in like one of the bowl games that was like the championship. This dude could block the sun. I mean, he really could.
You can see it there. He's hugging people, and he's devouring them.
And I'm like, boy, I gotta have that kid. I mean, I'm taking this kid with the Cardinals. That's what I'm saying right away. I'm taking this kid with the Cardinals. And let me look. I don't know what happened. I know he tried to transfer and I think go to Indiana.
Yeah, he tried to move, but he had a terrible game against Florida State.
But he came back to Alabama, and you know what? He didn't have that same dominating season like he did his freshman year.
Yeah, no, that Florida State game almost ruined him.
Huh?
Let me tell you why.
Okay, why?
Nick Saban talked about him. He's got all the talent in the world.
Nick Saban talked about him?
Talked about him.
Okay.
All the talent in the world. Lacks motivation. Lacks drive.
Wow, really?
Now, if you can get him in the building, you can get him working out, you can get him on the right path, he might be the most dominant offensive lineman in the league.
Yeah,
but
his freshman year, he had a lot to prove, I guess, and he showed out.
Yeah, but he said if you don't, he'll come in overweight, he'll come in out of shape, and you'll be disappointed.
He said that about.
Yes.
Is that right?
He said,
I didn't
at the end, he said, but I would take him in the first round.
Wow.
I mean, he's the 17th best player on the Kuiper Big Board. I just use that as just kind of the rankings
Dude,
and stuff
I'm
like
telling
that.
You, it's rare that offensive linemen stand out to you and you really notice him.
He's a big boy.
On the when you're watching a football game. This kid was unbelievable. His freshman year, I'm telling you, at Alabama. I had no idea that Nick Saban had said this.
Just in that Florida State game that he had, he gave up 7 pressures, the sack. That was that season opening game last year. Took a false start penalty on that 4th and 1 late in the game that wasn't good for them as well. He did settle down after that, obviously, if he's up there now and getting drafted by the Dolphins. Dolphins near the line. It just goes back to the Cowboys pick for me here is, okay.
Why did you give up 2 draft picks to move on?
Well, they wanted to
That's
make sure
Jerry.
they made sure they got him.
So
and I tell you what, the Rams are up, and I sure as heck. Who said that they're going to take Ty Simpson?
Jay Glazier.
Jay Glazier. I hope you're 1,000% correct here, buddy. I really do.
They don't got to worry about the Cardinals moving.
And that's one less player because I'm telling you, the Rams and the Seahawks, they have both been pretty good in the draft.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're getting contributors, right? Well, they're not going to get anybody that contributes at 13 in 2026 because he's not going to sit down Matthew Stafford.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No. Well, and that's the thing. The other thing you got to remember is there's probably half the teams in the league that can use 5 new starters. The Rams don't need 5 new starters. The Rams probably need 2.
Well, you take Ty Simpson to back up, obviously, Matthew Stafford with. Here's the other side. If they take Ty Simpson right here, that tells me Jimmy G is the rumors that he's going to retire are true. And then they're going to have a backup quarterback to groom him for a year or two with Stafford there.
There has to be something because I heard the Cardinals made a really strong push for Jimmy G before they settled.
They wanted, obviously LaFleur coming from there.
Yeah, before they went to Gardner Minshew, they wanted.
Hold on, guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Ty Simpson's in the green room at the draft.
He accepted, yeah.
What?
Yeah, which tells you something's up.
A big risk. A big risk normally. But,
not if you're going to the Rams at 13. Look, Jay Glazier lives in L.A.
Yeah, Jay Glazier.
He knows the coaching staff of the Rams very closely, intimately, if you will say that. So he hangs out with them personally. There's some smoke to that if Jay Glazier is putting that out.
Well, you know what? I agree with. I don't know if you or Dale that said it. They only their starters are pretty much entrenched already.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Matthew Stafford was contemplating retirement yet again this year. He did so the year before.
Right.
And he did so this.
But this year he's come back. Last year it had to do with the back injury. This year he's healthy.
And so his daughter and his wife, they all gave him the okay for this year.
Right.
So if you're looking beyond this year, then it makes sense to take Simpson now, who can be tutored by Matthew Stafford.
One of the greats.
Yeah. And it would lend credence to the rumor that we're all hearing that Jimmy G is looking to retire.
And Ty Simpson's going to be able to work with those receivers. I know during the season they don't necessarily. But Matthew Stafford doesn't practice every day, with his age and stuff. He gets those veteran days off. So it gives you a year to get underneath that system and everything to get in there. To me, I don't know if 13's too early to do it, probably, but
here's the deal. They would have to worry about the Steelers at 21 because we still know that Aaron Rodgers hadn't even said a darn thing.
You're panicking if you're Steelers right now, right?
Yeah, and so...
or are you?
I could.
Well, you're not panicking, but you're going to have to make your decision.
I'll tell you what. I've been talked in. I had no idea that Glazier had said that. I've been talked into. I've been talked into Ty Simpson by you guys. I've been talked. Well,
let me check here real quick.
It makes sense.
Let me check with McVay.
It just makes sense based on what we know.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. And like you guys said, I mean, and I didn't factor this in. That's why we're here, and that's why we work so well together. I didn't factor in that if they draft somebody here, how are they going to fit into this team? Are they going to fall into it, play right away? Are they backfilling a position, for a year from now? And it makes sense there with Jimmy G, whether Jimmy G retires or not.
Well, Jimmy G's made about $150 million.
I'd rather have Ty Simpson as a backup preparing to play in the future than I would have Jimmy G, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because even though we know that next year's quarterback class potentially has 5 first-round picks, the Rams are saying that, look, we'll probably finish, 28, 29, 30,
right.
31.
We're not getting one of those guys.
We're not getting one of those guys, yeah.
I tell you what, let's take a quick break here as well. I know they're at break there. We're waiting for it to come in and see if the Rams pick comes in. We'll be back here in just a minute. Thanks for joining us here on our special draft show here for 2026. Some surprises here, and Bruce Cooper's heart still beating. I can feel his heart beating from that Jeremiah Love pick from all the way over here still.
I may not sleep tonight, people. I may be hanging out on cloud 9 all day.
We'll come back and see who the Rams pick here and talk about that as well. So come on back. Main Event Draft Show. And we, of course, during that break there, we knew it was going to happen. We talked about it beforehand. Robert says, I guess the Cards won't be trading up to the first round now.
Now they won't.
Ty Simpson, quarterback, Alabama, going to the Rams. You're happy about that because the Rams just got better today.
Well, here's the deal. He won't impact, barring injury, he won't impact that team at all this year. So that means that the Cardinals have one less impact player on the Rams that they have to deal with this season.
And even if he does have to play this year, I promise you, he ain't going to impact this year. This is for next year and the following year.
If anything, he's going to get some reps this year if he needs to go.
But this guy, it was like, in my mind, there's a bunch of question marks about this dude right here.
Really?
Well, he picked in the 13th pick in the first round.
Well, there is a chance that the Jets would take him at 16.
Yeah, I guess the Jets.
But isn't that amazing?
Jets.
The only
or
team,
the Steelers at 21.
The only team we heard about taking this kid in the first round was the Arizona Cardinals, and he's going 13th to the Rams.
But seriously, when I looked up and I saw them show him on the ESPN TV screen, I said, "He's at the draft."
Well, when we saw that, because I didn't know he was there either. When I saw that, I went, "Uh-oh, he's going early." Somebody told him he's going early.
I'll be honest. I have a buddy I worked with at 12, Jeff Snyder. He's a big New York Jets
love
fan.
Jeff.
And he was talking about quarterbacks, and he said, "Guy, he ruined the fact he was ruining the fact that the Jets missed out on the top overall pick because he wanted Fernando Mendoza." Well, him and Cam are the guys that I send a lot of my draft stuff to anyway. I said, I told him, I said, personally, I like Ty Simpson better because I like quarterbacks. I like mobile quarterbacks. Now, he has a lot more mobility than Fernando Mendoza. But like you said, Dale, in that championship game, I mean, Mendoza put his head down and just bulled his way in.
Yeah.
You don't want him doing that. You don't want him doing that in the NFL.
No, you don't want him doing that.
But
no.
he's more of an elusive quarterback who has some pretty high end accuracy on the move. So I liked him from that standpoint. And so, but I still didn't see him cracking the top 15.
No, this was a guy seriously who, because here's what drives me crazy about the draft and talk and the rankings and all that is the fact that guys go up and down. And, oh, now he's the second round and the first, and you haven't played a football game since early January. And he's a guy who's been anywhere from he's a second rounder.
No, he was not going first unless the Cardinals traded up
to late first round if the Cardinals traded up back in the first round to get him. And now it goes. And here's the thing that sucks, Coop. Is there certain franchises like the Cowboys? They traded up. They were dumbasses. And the Rams, what have they done in the draft? They just have knocked it out of the park. This dude will be the starting quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Stafford will get to the NFC Championship game this year, and then he'll ride up to the sunset.
He's going to have a ton of talent walking into it as well.
And so next year when you see Arch Manning, you see Dante Moore, you see Julian Sayin, you see, and I'm telling you the guy that I like the most.
Mississippi, right?
Yeah, Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah.
And then there's Lenore Sellers out at South Carolina. So those are the top four. I haven't seen anywhere where Chambliss is in that first round talk. But the four that I just talked about, save Chambliss, they're all first rounders, and the Rams aren't getting either one of those guys based on where they're projected to finish.
Well, it'll be too late for them.
Yeah,
the Rams are a team like they lost one of the best all-time, or arguably one of the best all-time defensive linemen. They had a guy right there to step into the spot right afterward. They've set this up for a year or two from now, to get him in there and do it. I love this pick, and I have some comments on the Cardinals based around this as well. Because, they did that press conference a week or so ago, and, of course, we're like, if we get a guy young. And then now Jacoby Brissett's like, you got to pay me like a starter and all of this stuff. And he's holding out here, not technically a holdout, but all of that stuff. And you don't even come into play to get Ty Simpson in this.
Well,
draft.
now I understand why Mike LaFleur likes Ty Simpson and all that talk began there, because he came from the Rams, and he knows that his boy McVay likes him.
Dale, tell us who was just drafted there, would you?
Ola Ione. I just call him. Everybody's call him Oli.
Yeah, Oli is what they call him. Yeah, Ione here. Ravens' 14th overall pick is it's Ione, Kobe, for the last name to give you an idea here. Guard,
but it's pronounced Ione.
Yeah,
and let me tell you something. He is the best interior lineman in this draft. I watched this kid at Penn State. He's just a load. I mean, and here's the deal. He actually has some good lateral movement. Okay. He doesn't give up, and he plays on the inside at guard for the most part. But this kid.
They say he can go outside though, from what I was reading.
Well, yeah, he can do that too.
Big dude, another big dude.
There he is, right there on the inside.
Yeah,
they're all big.
But look at that. He's compared to the guys next to him.
He stonewalls a lot of people. Those bull rushers. Like they come in. This dude.
Look at this.
He stands them up.
Look at this. Lines up as a receiver and comes across that poor UCLA Bruin right there. That guy's got a family.
Yeah.
Now you got a mom and dad.
He's a big boy. But I'm gonna tell you right now. You know who I think the second best interior lineman is? And you won't even find him in the first round of this draft. You'll find him in my mock draft. But he played right tackle at Iowa, kicking him inside. Jennings Dunker. Remember that name. I won't be wrong. He'll be a stud. He'll be a stud.
Are you saying he's a first rounder?
No, he won't be a first rounder.
Or you think he's a first rounder?
Well, if I think he can be, but you don't really find many interior linemen going in the first round.
See, and again, little bones to pick. If you can be an All-Pro 6 or 7-time Pro Bowl as a guard,
okay. To answer your question, I think he is.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But I only had one pick, and it was Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, right. For the Cardinals, you're saying.
Right.
But what I'm saying, I get tired of hearing people go, "Oh, but he might only be able to play guard." You know what? Larry Allen played guard. The guy in Indianapolis plays guard.
But in the high level of the first round, you want a guy that can do both, and I think that's more of it.
Look, I'm with Dan on this. You talked about.
I'm talking about NFL guys want guys that can do both. When you're in high picks like this, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I love that pick for Baltimore.
I'm all about Jennings Dunker.
Yeah. I have no idea if the new Baltimore coach is going to be any good, but I like that pick.
If you don't think he's a first-round pick, the Cardinals would get him early in the second round.
Well, that's where he's projected to go, like late second round, and that's why I made the trade with the Texans to get their two second-round picks this year. Okay. And I'm giving up draft capital going next year, but not a first. I'm giving up a second next year, a first and a third in 28. Because I'm using that 27 first rounder to take my quarterback.
Yeah, that was a Coop mock draft here that we've talked about for the last several weeks.
And the two offensive linemen I'm taking, Jennings Dunker, who I think is the second best interior lineman in this draft. But let me tell you something, it's by a hair. I mean, this kid is.
You think this is the first best guy that just got
drafted? Yeah. And but I'm telling you, Dunker is
6'4", 320 pounds, by the way.
Dunker is just nasty. He's filthy nasty. I mean, this kid, and so that's what you want. That's what you want on your interior line, and so that's why I love him. And so I noticed that the Cardinals brought in the other guy that I had. Now I'm gonna have him at right tackle, even though he played left tackle for the most part at Northwestern. Caleb Tiernan. Yeah. That's those are my two guys on the right side. So yeah, I addressed the offensive line to match up with my. A running back.
Well, you're talking second round.
Sure. Yeah, because my original second round pick now, Peter Woods, defensive tackle, Clemson. Look, him and Walter Nolan together. Watch out, bro.
Hey, I'm not drafting a defensive tackle high for 5 years because every damn one of them pulls a calf and they miss half a year.
Well, I'm getting this guy in the second round, so he's not a first rounder, so he's okay.
Dale,
it's those first round guys,
Dale, tell us what your playing weight and height was there officially there with the Cowboys.
I got drafted out of SMU at 282. Mm-hmm. And I was drafted by the Buffalo Bills to make their line bigger.
Ioni's 6'4", 320 pounds.
282. Yeah. But this is 85, Coop.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how big that dude is.
Now, I was known more as a lover than a fighter, so.
Still is.
Yeah, I'm still more of a lover than a fighter, Coop. But I do think nasty was tossed around a couple times because Coop.
What context?
Here's a trick that I did that I don't know how many guys did this, but I would get the media guide picture of the guy I'm going against. Ray Childress is one guy. He was the third pick in the draft, 1985.
Played at A&M, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
And I got his media guide picture, and by Saturday, I despised him so much. I wanted to take away from his family. I didn't want him to have kids.
Jeez.
And this guy had this long, elongated neck, and he walked around like a big peacock. And I could dislike him as much as just about anybody else. Okay, Zeb, we don't even know these names. But he's the only guy I ever played dirty against.
Really?
And I've told Steve this story. Or you want to announce?
Well, no. Let's see if he comes out first while you keep talking here.
Well, I would take Kenyon Sadiq, a tight end from
Oregon.
Oregon. If
right here in this spot, that'd be a solid pick for a tight end here for the Buccaneers. They're up here as well. Yeah, Reuben Bain Jr. Man, this is a fall for him. The weird thing is that they have him on Mel's best available. He's the fourth best available right now. On top of it, Bain. from that perspective. The Buccaneers with their pick. Oh, look at that! The guy with the skull is all excited. Ruben Bain Jr. Look, that's a. I mean, yeah, I know Tampa. You know, not close to Miami. I mean, it's close to Miami, 3 hours away, but
they flip flop with the Ravens here. They flip flop with the Ravens here. The Bucks pulled a Cowboys Miami
to get up there.
So they moved up one spot to get Ruben Bain. Okay.
I mean, this is a fall for this kid, and now a lot of it, you know, is it off the field stuff or is it just something else here?
It could be. It could be.
But Coop, here's what I said about that. When that news came out, I was not a high round draft pick.
Baltimore was always 14th, and Buccaneers were always 15th.
But who did the Ravens?
The Ravens took Ione, the big guy from Penn State.
Oh, shoot.
You went down. Yeah, you skipped somebody there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I skipped.
Yeah, you skipped. You were yakking and you forgot about it. You were amazed by the size of Baltimore's pickup there.
Coop, here's the thing. When the news came about Ruben Bain, if you're an NFL team and you were surprised by that news, then you need to hire a new scouting department and a new FBI department. Every NFL team has an FBI guy.
Sure.
And they talk to your high school coaches.
Absolutely.
They talk to your college coaches. And if you didn't know about that and that was a surprise, then shame on you.
Absolutely.
You know, so all these people.
They all knew. They all knew. There was no surprise.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I find it hard to believe he's fallen. I mean, it might just be, position-wise.
It's hard to argue anyone that's gone before him anyway.
Everybody's feeling needs.
Unless you're the Rams with Ty Simpson and you're looking ahead.
Yeah, Robert does say, and Robert's right on this, that Dunker has the best mullet in the draft. Robert is correct on that when you were talking about Dunker.
Hey, look,
you got to be around for tomorrow for them to do that.
Robert, I'm glad you know who he is because I'm telling you, this guy, and I won't be wrong on it. He'll be playing in the NFL for a long time.
So Ruben Bain Jr. gets out there, finally gets going. I like this. He gets to stay home at Florida. Move a little bit across the state. There was about a 3-hour drive, if I remember correctly. Yeah. To move other. I don't know if that's good or bad though for a guy that I'm not saying he's questionable. Like I said, that was a.
No,
it wasn't a Georgia situation there as well.
First of all, there's quite a bit of difference between Miami and Tampa.
Yeah, well,
and the nightlife and the trouble.
You're close is the point there. You're close going over there. But he goes down and finally picked here at 15th here, Ruben Bain Jr. As well with Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay lost some receivers. Obviously, Mike Evans leaving this year to the Niners and things to that effect. That's why I thought that tight end pick would have been solid for them. But they also have a solid defense, and you just added to that defense as well with Bain Jr.
All right, the Jets are on the board on a pick they got from the Indianapolis Colts. So.
What do you do here if you're the Jets? Because obviously they took their big edge guy that they wanted here as well. Do you move over to the offensive side? I think there's more talent on the defensive side available right now. But do you move over? Or do you stay on the defensive side?
Well, I think I'm going on the offensive side for them. Breece Hall is healthy again. You have Wilson as one of your wideouts. I'm still looking for a wideout to complement him. So I'm going Mekhi Lemon here.
Really?
If I'm the Jets. Yeah.
See, Mekhi Lemon's the better receiver here, but I wouldn't be shocked if they don't take Omar Cooper from Indiana at this position for the Jets. But either one will be solid. But I agree with you. I think this is an offensive pick, a wide receiver. They need those picks here moving forward as well. I just don't know, right? The Jets, do they take a USC guy? I mean, they've had a lot of USC guys roll through New York Jets and just not perform.
I love everything. I love everything about Mekhi Lemon. I mean, he's 5'11". He's not really a speed burner, but I'm telling you, you put the ball in his area code, he snatches it. And
that's the thing. He's only 5'11".
If you want to talk about a run after catch guy that's surprising, Puka Nacua surprises me a lot with his run after catch. This kid, his run after catch ability is top drawer. And let me tell you something. If it's fourth in the game, he wants the ball. He's that competitive. I love players like that.
He ranked third in the nation.
I'm a huge Mekhi Lemon fan.
Yeah, he ranked third in the nation in receiving yards per game last year from USC with an offense that wasn't exactly great at all last year. The Jets pick is in here. We think it's a receiver and...
It's
we're wrong.
The guy I had going
to go tight end here at this point. I'm kind of surprised by this, to be honest with you. It's not a bad pick, but I'm kind of surprised by it.
Look, let me tell you something.
Wow.
Sadiq is one of those tight ends who can, you don't want to necessarily have a linebacker on. This kid can move.
Kenyon Sadiq.
This kid can move.
SADIQ.
He can get downfield. He can actually, if you put him and have him run just a seam route, Dale, you better make sure you have some safety help over the top, because there's no linebackers that's going to be able to keep up with him. I don't even know if Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese can keep up with him.
I mean, a tight end from Oregon with that Oregon offense. I mean, he's got the speed. And he's lining up in a wide receiver spot.
You can move him around.
Yeah. Look at that. Just blew right by that. That's a cornerback there for Utah. I believe they're playing in that bit
He's
right now.
SC here.
SC, right? Look at that. Right over the top.
You see, Dale, you see how he gets deep? I'm talking tight end. Yeah, and we're not even talking about their receivers. So I thought maybe the Ravens would do this. Very athletic guy.
6'3", 240 is what he's listed at.
Yeah, he's not much of a blocker. No. I mean, he's not one of those great inline blockers.
He plays outside.
But let me tell you something. You can move this kid around. You can almost use him like an H-back. He's just a tough matchup.
His stats last year over 14 games, 51 catches, 560 receiving yards, 8 receiving touchdowns for him. I mean, he's physical. He'll go up and catch the ball. He's not afraid to get hit. He's not afraid to go up and get it against the safety and get sandwiched in there and things like that. I think that's a solid pickup right there.
Yeah. Look. I thought the Jets would have gone with.
I thought a receiver would make more sense.
McCollum,
but he basically can line up as a receiver outside. Same thing.
You can use him a lot, But I'm telling you, I think I've told this story before, but McCollum reminds me of Anquan Bolden.
Really?
For the Cardinals. And from this standpoint, he's just super, super competitive. I still remember this to this day. The Cardinals drafted Anquan Bolden a year before they did Larry Fitzgerald. Mm-hmm. And so I'm probably like maybe 3 years now in. I'm up in Cardinals training camp in Flagstaff. So I'm doing I'm doing a little package on this little story on the two bookend receivers here. And so I asked this question: is fourth in the ball game? Who's getting the ball? And Anquan Bolden did not allow Larry Fitzgerald to say anything. He immediately said me, without question. He says, fourth in the game? I said, yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? It's me. Fourth in the game. I said, yeah. Fourth. He was so adamant that it was him. Larry couldn't even get in any words. And that's Mekhi Lemon. Mekhi Lemon has that type of mentality. He has that type of competitiveness. He wants the ball in any tough situation. and I love that about this kid. He doesn't drop passes. He's competitive as heck. He's not. You send him to a combine. He's not going to overwhelm you there. But all he does is he's a gamer like Q. He just makes plays.
Yeah.
Lions are on the board or on the clock right now. If I can speak here, Lions pick is in as well. What do the Lions do? They new offensive coordinator had some issues last year. New defensive coordinator had some issues last year. They have to fill some holes here. Well, Dan Campbell's coming in. What do you do?
I think they're going to go on the defensive side of the ball. Look,
I'm thinking wide receiver here.
They lost David Montgomery, mm-hmm. and I think they signed Isaiah Pacheco. Mm-hmm. So Pacheco will line up with Jahmyr Gibbs, but they still have at receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yep. They have Jamison Williams. They still have their tight end Sam Laporta.
Mm-hmm. There's rumors of trading him, but yeah.
They're trading Laporta?
Yeah, rumors have been out there. I don't know. I agree with you, but I've seen a few of those rumors over the years.
The Lions, they have been hurt more because of the last couple of years with Aiden Hutchinson getting hurt and all that stuff. They've been hurt on the defensive side of the ball. And so they've been having to outscore opponents. They need to get defensive here. And so I would see them going – I see the Lions going defense here. And
we still have and I tend to agree with that. I think especially, with the head coach. I just said his name and now I forgot it. I think
Campbell.
He wants to be tough and put a message out there on the defensive side. I agree with you on that coming up here. But losing that running back now, there's no running back to take here at this point. Obviously, that'll be good enough to go. But you do have a couple good
Lions
guys.
Are okay at running back. They still have Jahmyr Gibbs, and they picked up, I believe, it was Isaiah.
Yeah,
Pacheco
but injury prone and other issues with him. We'll have to see if he makes himself out here as well. But on the defensive side, you still got Dylan Feynman. They're the safety. He's still available from that. Ruben Baines Jr. just went, of course, from that perspective. So you're getting kind of thin here, at least in first round defensive guys still available out there. So,
well, Ohio State still has Caden McDonald there, and Keldrick Falk. He's from Auburn. He's like a 6'6", 280-pound guy. I mean, he looks the part physically. Yeah. He really does. And I'm just saying that if you can pair him with Aiden Hutchinson, I think that would go a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I'm looking for
because Hutchinson's still getting double, triple team down there and everything.
I'm going to call Keldrick Falk from Auburn right here.
Yeah, solid pick here. If that is the case, we'll see what comes up here. We got some surprises here as well. We'll talk about what's the biggest surprise as NFL does its promotion stuff like it does here. But I mean, no, we talked earlier. Love being drafted by your Arizona Cardinals at number 3. Floored everybody because they did what kind of everybody wanted them to do. Ty Simpson is gone in this draft, went 13 to the Rams as well. Cowboys traded up a spot to take a guy. Chiefs traded up 3 spots to take their guy as well with Cleveland from that perspective. As well, Ruben Baines didn't go until 15th here to the Bucks as they came into that side. So lots of surprises here in this draft. And I think ESPN just put out there, that was the 14th first-round move up by the Cowboys, the most in the modern era since 1967, if I read that stat correctly. So they apparently can't just take a pick in their spot as well. So they're doing some Make-A-Wish stuff. Here. They
went the offensive tackle Blake Miller from Clemson.
Yeah, offensive tackler. Yeah, just you know what they do need? They had some retirements last year. Their offensive line struggled. That does make sense. I don't know if I take Blake Miller in that spot.
They
but
have Penny Sewell is their right tackle. He's probably one of the premier tackles in the football right now.
Blake
Miller. I guess Miller is going to be the guy trying to protect
from
Goff
Clemson.
On the other side.
Yeah, from Clemson. I don't know. I mean, I get it. If you like the guy, take him. Is that a little bit early for him? But then again, like you said, they're not going to be picking for a while again coming up from that perspective. But Blake Miller here to the Lions.
And here's the deal, though.
He plays right side, right?
He plays right tackle, but so does Penny Sewell.
That's what I was going to say.
Maybe they're just going to move Sewell from right tackle to left like the Cardinals did with Paris Johnson.
Yeah, but Sewell's been there for 8 years now?
He has.
Yeah, he's been there for a little bit.
And he's been all pro. So you don't. Sometimes you don't want to move.
No.
You have some leverage, right? As well, you got some leverage there to deal with that.
So a couple of picks as we keep moving along here. You're Mekhi Lemon. He's number 11 on the big board that Mel Kiper did.
He's number 1 available right now. Mel Kiper.
He had not picked yet. We're starting to get in that area where your offensive tackle from Arizona State, Max. How do you say it?
Hinachor.
Hinachor. It's not how it's
I did a graphic on him, Dale, for tonight. I'm expecting him to go.
Max Hinachor.
Okay.
I'm expecting him to go late in this draft, possibly. Like I said, Mike Vrabel, we'll see, right? How much influence does he have over this with his press conference before?
Is Kyler Murray getting more help on the offensive side of the ball?
That's the question here with the Vikings. They have a lot of offensive weapons here.
Caleb Banks, defensive tackle, Florida. Okay.
I would assume defense here, is what I was about to say, just because that offensive side is good. And we all know, right? Kyler Murray is prone to turnovers late in games, so you need that defense built up, if I may dare say that, Dale.
That's why you're building a defense because for his late game turnover.
You're going to need a defense to stop the other team from winning the game late as well. Caleb Banks, defensive tackle, Florida. That's, 18th, huh?
Well, okay. He's a guy that can clog up that middle for you. He can take on double team blocks. He's a big dude. And so if the Vikings have their linebackers who can actually get after it, I mean, look.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Dale's watching the highlights right now.
Come on.
On ESPN.
I want you to go against some offensive linemen who my grandson, who's 6 years old, can block better than them. Are you serious? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Bill, he has some
Sorry.
he has some
Caleb Banks, though.
He has some physical attributes that you can't.
He's huge.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Kobe, I'm not going to lie to you. You might not have him.
Yeah. He has the versatility to play both inside and outside.
That's a different one. I'm floored by him being picked there at 18. To be honest with you, yeah, for the Vikings.
Yeah, look, the Vikings definitely needed.
You got
some,
Zion
some,
Young
some,
out there from Missouri. I know he's an edge, right, and stuff.
They
but
definitely need some defensive help now.
yeah, Kobe, you do not have him.
I'm looking at the Vikings and Aaron Jones that's been with the Packers and now he's been with the Vikings for the past couple of years. He's starting to get up there in age, and he missed a lot of last season with injuries. So I don't know that they necessarily have a great running back there because they didn't really address the issue in free agency. They just have dudes there. There's another guy in this draft that I like from Notre Dame, running back. I told you guys before, Jadarian Price. He was Love's backup. So I look at him as a first-round pick. I really do.
Yeah, but
I don't.
The one name that you mentioned once or twice, and you just sent him off in the stratosphere. McCollum Lemon's still on the board.
Yeah, but you know what? I tell you what. That's what I'm going to do with the Panthers.
Yeah.
Panthers are up right now. Panthers drafted some guy. Maybe you heard of him. He played at the University of Arizona, and his name was Tetairoa McMillan, T-Mac. He was the offensive rookie of the year. But he really
for the Panthers.
Yeah, for the Panthers. And he really doesn't have a true playmate on the other side.
Right.
I think if I'm the Panthers, I give Bryce Young another offensive
weapon.
Yeah, Packers pick is in here. By the way, Robert says, can you explain how Lemon is related to Coop? Because you keep talking about him and hyping him up there as well.
Hey,
That's pretty funny.
I'm telling you, I watched the kid. I watch a lot of college football.
I just hesitate with USC receivers these days.
I don't. Not receivers as much to me as quarterbacks. Like I don't think I'd take a USC quarterback in the first round.
That's
but
true.
Well, some guy named Caleb Williams didn't turn out to be too bad. Did he?
Yeah, no, there's good ones, but I mean, with Lincoln Riley, I don't know. There's something going on there in USC that are interesting to me. Robert, my Papa Mike had a migraine earlier, so he wasn't feeling well, and he chimed in. He said, "My migraine's gone. I just looked up Love's upcoming contract: $50.5 million for 4 years, all guaranteed." Plus a fifth-year option, I believe, as well. So seventh highest-paid running back in NFL coming up this year is what his contract's going to line him into by being the third pick in the NFL draft.
Well, here's the deal.
The Cardinals.
These draft positions, they're all slotted.
Yeah.
So the Cardinals are going to pay $50.5 million over 4 years with a fifth-year option, regardless
for whoever
of
they paid.
Whoever they pick there.
Right.
Now, there's people that get into this deal about positional value,
Yeah.
which I think is stupid. And so, well, he comes in, he's the seventh highest paid running back. But if they took an offensive lineman there, the offensive lineman would have been like the 25th highest paid player.
Right.
So the Cardinals aren't overpaid. Dude, stop
It's
the
still
nonsense.
$50 million, Coop.
It is. But they're just trying to say that you get the seventh best player, the seventh highest paid player. It should be at least the seventh best player. And they don't know that he's going to be that. But if you took an offensive lineman and he's the 25th best, highest paid player, then, he doesn't have to be. Dude, stop the nonsense. I mean, you people need to get off this crap. I mean, this is stupidest stuff I've ever. If I'm going to a Cardinals game like a lot of fans, I could give a rat's ass how much, if this guy's playing up to his value. I want to know if this guy a type of guy that can get in the end zone, this guy can make plays, help me win games. If he's a difference maker, yes, that's who he is.
Well, you're also seeing running backs are starting to get paid again when they perform and stuff to that effect.
I mean, I think it's so stupid to get into
Coop,
this
I really thought you were going to say I could give a rat's ass if he's a lineman. I thought that's where you were going.
I'm trying to figure out where Caleb Banks, offensive tackle from Florida, that just went to the Vikings, where he's even listed on anybody's big board.
Monroe Freeling. They continue to come to the offensive line.
This is a good pick here for the Panthers, like you said.
I actually think Monroe Freeling is a better offensive lineman than Blake Miller, who just went 2 picks.
I was surprised Miller went when he did, but I figured the Freeling would go a little bit earlier. But it is fascinating, though, the order they're taking these guys. And like I said, then Banks getting up there from Florida, getting into this mix.
There's a trade.
Early as well, yeah. Cowboys trade their pick here. They're on the clock now. They traded
to
to
the
Philadelphia. So, Kobe, get excited. We have to get Kobe on video celebrating here.
Wow.
No,
So-
Eagles are now on the clock. We'll have to see what this trade value is here. So, the Eagles are coming up from 23 to 20. They must really like somebody at this point. So, Dallas gets number 23, obviously, 114 and 137. It looks like. Obviously, Philadelphia
They
gets the
kind of
number
recouped
20.
a little bit plus
Yeah.
what they gave away to move up.
They basically get back what they got
Yeah.
before, or basically the picks they gave up. When we kind of questioned moving up the one pick there, they got it back. So Eagles have to like somebody here. Look, Eagles have an aging offensive line. Could it be this run on offensive linemen force the Eagles to come up to get their guy with they see guys coming off here?
You know that's what it tells me. I had the Eagles sitting back and taking Denzel Boston, but with the run on offensive lineman right here, it tells me that the Eagles are moving up to get a guy on the offensive line that they know that they like right now.
So is that good for your boy Max? This run on offensive lineman. Do you
be,
see him going here?
It could be Max for sure.
Yeah, he would be great right there behind Lane and Lane Johnson practice. But they need some help now though as well. Caleb Lomu might be the pick here from Utah.
They didn't wait around.
Oh, Lemon, they went wide receiver. Eagles. Well, they got rid of A.J. Brown's on his way out. I guess that makes sense.
No, but let me tell you something. See, A.J. Brown was like a 6'4" guy.
Completely different receivers.
Yeah, and
5'11", 11.
I'm telling you, I've been singing this kid's praises. I love this kid. Make no mistake about it.
They must love him because they jumped up. I mean, there's value here jumping up 3 spots to take Lemon in this big. He is fallen down in this draft. So there's value jumping up and getting him here. And it does make sense. I didn't even factor in the receiver side with A.J. Brown. To me, I didn't think was spectacular.
I didn't have him going to the Eagles just based on size.
Yeah.
Right.
He's 5'11". You're getting rid of a six.
Their quarterback is shooting. Everybody in Philadelphia
Hold on. How
shoots.
tall is A.J. Brown? I thought he's like 6'6".
No, A.J. Brown's 6'4", dude. He has that stature that's similar to he plays
Marvin
with,
Harrison?
No. He played with him in Mississippi, but he's with the. God, he got traded from Seattle to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh,
He used to play with Seattle for years. Why am I having these issues?
He's 6'1", 226 pounds. That's what he's listed at. A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown's taller than that.
No.
I'm just telling what he's listed at. Yeah.
A.J. played with.
You're talking about Arthur Wong Brown, right?
Yeah.
They got D. Metcalf.
DJ Metcalf.
Yes.
Yeah. He played with Metcalf at Mississippi.
Okay.
I didn't even know Metcalf went to Mississippi.
Oh, yeah,
Wow, I'd forgotten that.
They were teammates at Mississippi.
Okay.
But I like this move up by the Eagles to get their receiver. That also tells you the A.J. Brown news is there as well. And that's addition by subtraction there for the Eagles, getting rid of, I'll just call him the head case. That's A.J. Brown, bringing in Lemon there as well. Like you said, though, I am kind of, the size side of it. It just seems like he doesn't fit in there in the Eagles land because they like those bigger, stronger guys from that perspective. But Lemon's fast. I also, like I said, my problem with him is at USC is just simply he's played for Lincoln Riley these last couple of years, and that can mess anybody up.
Dude, I don't get in it. This kid's too competitive. I mean, I don't mind that. Just a history of
Can
somebody,
you tell I don't like Lincoln Riley?
5'11" and 1/8. How about that?
Yeah, and he's been the best player on the board for a long time. And, I mean, look, he's going up against a taller cornerback right there.
The kid doesn't drop balls. He doesn't drop balls.
Yeah, that was a bad throw. What a shocker. A UFC quarterback throwing a bad ball there, and he went and got it from that perspective. So I like this move up by the Eagles. I really, really do, to get A.J. Brown's replacement here. And don't forget, with the other Eagles receivers, he's not going to be double-teamed.
After the catch.
It's going to leave him
After
open
the
there.
catch.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of missed tackles there that won't happen as much
give
in pros.
him credit for running through him.
Who's that they're playing against? Kansas?
Yeah, I was going to say, which team is that? It's a blue helmet. I don't know who that was.
He did that throughout the season. They played in the Big Ten.
Okay.
He had 79 catches, 1,156. That's why I think that was Northwestern, maybe. 1,156 yards receiving, 11 touchdowns
it didn't
last
matter
year.
if he was playing
over
Ohio
12
State.
games. Yeah.
It didn't matter if he was playing Michigan.
No,
The kid balled.
He's that prototypical guy that's undersized but plays with the heart and the passion of a guy that if he was bigger, he'd be a stud there. And I like guys that play like that just show up with the passion and get up.
All right,
there as well.
this is what Steeler fans have been waiting for.
This pick?
It's going to be an offensive lineman, isn't it?
This is what the Steeler fans.
Well, here's the
Is
problem.
this where Max could go?
You can't go quarterback here,
can't.
which is what obviously Ty Simpson's off the board. If you're just joining us or haven't followed it as well, so you can't go quarterback,
No.
which Aaron Rodgers is still putting some games into that side. Well, they need receivers, they need offensive linemen. I would argue they need some defensive help there as well.
Well, they lost Semelo to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of holes here for the Steelers. New regime as well. So what's the angle the new regime is going to take here with Mike Tomlin obviously not being there anymore? Pick is in and everything for the Steelers. So, Coop, what are you thinking?
Well, Mike McCarthy, he definitely is an offensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Loves to run the ball.
I think the Steelers have been decimated on the offensive line here. I think they try to make some move. I would see them going offensive lineman here, and yeah,
Especially with the run that's going on. You're getting slim pickings here for the offensive linemen with Freeling gone now and those guys out there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. Caden Proctor's off the board as well. So, yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see. Blake Miller's off the board. Whew.
Well, a couple of the guys that you
there
think.
have been 5 offensive linemen taken so far in the first 20 picks.
So you got Max, you got that Dylan Thieneman from Oregon, the safety.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a safety.
As a top 20 guy, Denzel Boston, wide receiver from Washington.
They need wide receiver help.
You
They need wide receiver help there.
Yeah, now keep in mind they acquired DK Metcalf from Seattle.
Right.
So they have Metcalf, but they don't really have anyone that can complement him. I would not be surprised to see the Steelers go wide receiver here. Maybe if they don't go receiver, they're going offensive lineman. You can go Omar Cooper here from Indiana, or you can go an offensive lineman, be it a Hellestrae from ASU.
How do you get Hellestrae out of that spelling?
Or Caleb Lomu from Utah.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating because, Steelers have had a lot of holes for a while, but with Tomlin there, you knew his style of football. And like I said, McCarthy's style of football. It is run when you probably shouldn't type of thing. So, like you said, and then with the run of offensive linemen, it wouldn't shock me if that's coming up here as well.
And that ASU Max offensive line was the last 2 first-round possibilities.
The problem with Max, though, from ASU that he's going to be a project. He's only played competitive football while at ASU. He started when he was 17.
Well, but
so he's going to be a little bit of a project. I don't know if you bring him in.
Here's what you got to like about the kid. Not only his feet and his movement and stuff like that.
I like him. Yeah.
And you're right. He doesn't have a lot of experience, but he picks it up fast.
Yeah.
He's been a 3-year starter at Arizona State University. And look, they're playing in the Big 12. This big boy country.
Right.
He acquitted himself really well against the highly regarded Texas Tech offensive line.
I love it when Steelers fans hit the chat here. They're all celebrating here as well. Robert did say Coop stepson to the Eagles.
I'm a huge fan.
Ernest Cook says, "Preach it, Coop." He says with Metcalf there as well, and he says Steelers take Max from ASU is what Robert is saying here. And I'm not sure if we have a slower feed here. I'm not sure what the deal is, but I think Robert has the pick here as well as I'm seeing on Twitter. There you go.
It is
Arizona State. It doesn't surprise. I love the kid's talent. We've seen his talent with Senior Day. Obviously, we've been there. Look at that family right there. And, this kid didn't play football until he was 17 years old. Now he's going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
How about this? ASU, 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, can you imagine that? How long has it been? When's the last time?
Oh, here we go. Here comes the
ASU
dig. Here comes the dig.
When's the last time ASU had 2 first-round picks?
I think it's in the early 2000s.
You think they had 2 then?
I think it. I believe it could have been the year that.
Look at this highlight reel while you're talking here. This is it's amazing what he does against bigger, stronger talent out there. His footwork, Dale, I mean, you could talk about this. His footwork to me is just amazing for a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience underneath his belt.
This gets Texas Tech.
Yeah. And look at that. He's just bowling through everybody there to get to that second level and open up that line and everything. I like him. It's just, stepping up from college to pros. You're right. He does pick up a little bit quickly here and well. But, I mean, especially in Steelers land, right? You're going to go up now. A lot of changes in that division as well with Baltimore, new coaching staff, and some changes on their their defensive line. So this is fantastic. Good for him, man. This is a kid you can root for.
There's a time when ASU had like
I got it.
Todd Heap and Archuleta.
Okay, so that was the last.
Yeah, I was
draft.
looking it
they
up
had
there.
2 first-round picks. Adam Archuleta went 20th. Todd Heap went 31st.
Okay.
That was 2001.
Well, I said early 2000s.
When Coop was young and fresh, and
well,
bouncing around a little bit.
That was during that time for sure.
I'm just looking here. Everybody's commenting on Jeremiah Love making $50.5 million, fully guaranteed money here. But this is a good kid. I'm going to be rooting for this kid.
Why are they tripping on that? No matter who the Cardinals drafted, they would have got that exact same figure.
If it was a Miami offensive lineman, he's getting $50 million.
He would have got the same. He'd got the same figure. If it was Arvell Reese, he'd have got the same figure.
I think it's more of the position, and you're seeing a comeback on the position side.
What are you tripping over? That's what I don't understand. I mean, people just trip too much. Dude, if the dude can play football, he's a difference maker and can help your football team. What the freak difference does it make?
I just wanted to get you riled up, Coop. That's all I was trying to do.
And they do get that does get me riled up. I mean, it really.
I have heard Coop use more fringe curse words
I know.
in the last 2 hours. Not curse word, but fringe. In the last hour and a half that I have in all the Thursday or Tuesdays that it comes with.
Chargers are on the block, by the way. 22.
I could drop the frickin'. That's cool. But I did use a rat's ass. I did use a rat's ass. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Again, props all over the place about your Jeremiah Love pick there as well. But I mean, going back to Max really quick here from Arizona, like I said, I can't. One, he's going to McCarthy's system, which is McCarthy knows how to. Dallas Cowboys when he was there didn't have a shabby offensive line.
Well, they had a very good offense.
They got older while he was there and stuff, and they didn't replenish them. So I like this. I like this for the young Arizona State kid. Going over there to Steelers. Now he's with the Steelers. That's the one team I despise in the NFL.
No,
that he went there,
Minnesota
but
either.
well,
You despise Minnesota.
Yeah, but not as much as I despise Pittsburgh. I've just never, my whole life. Minnesota's a reason.
I know the Chargers aren't going offensive line here.
They have so many holes with their injuries. Is this a receiver here? Is my question. Well, maybe not. With obviously the USC kid off the board now as well. Chargers pick is in at 22.
Cooper or Boston could factor in, but I don't think so. I think they're going defense.
Well, that guy got a gas mask on right
and
there.
Messidor,
edge out of Miami.
They go defense, yeah.
Right. You have to replace Bosa and those guys on that side that are just constantly hurt from that perspective here. Look at these Miami guys getting a run here as well.
I think Miami's right behind Ohio State in terms of number of first rounders. I think Ohio State has 5. Miami now has 3.
Did you have him in the first round draft pick, Messidor?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Cowboys are back on the clock, by the way, with that trade they made just a few picks ago.
Come on, right tackle. That's ridiculous.
They'll get so mad watching these highlights.
Yeah.
They're highlighting the defensive guys. They're not going to have a good play by the offensive lineman.
Did you see that left tackle try to block him?
And that was Mississippi, too. He just whiffed on him.
Man.
Just whiffed on him.
Okay, so Ohio State has 4 in the first round. Miami has 3. Alabama has 2.
And Indiana.
And guess what?
Indiana.
Guess what? ASU has 2.
Yeah. Look at that. Where's Arizona on that list? Is Arizona on that list anywhere? Curious.
Not so much.
Wow.
That was just to you, Arizona fans, when you guys last year were rubbing it in with T-Mac and those guys going there as well. Look at that emotion. Lots of emotion from Arizona State guys
get
here.
Get the hat fitting for crying out loud, big boy.
He's a big guy. He probably had multiple hats he had to pick from there because he didn't know where he was going to go. Yeah, I specifically did a graphic for Max there because I was like, he's going to go in this. But I get with Patriots or something, from that side.
So Vrabel's whole trip to Arizona was a waste.
No,
He
no,
worked
no,
with
no,
Max.
no. He went down to Sedona with Diana.
But he worked with Max.
Okay.
And then he ruined his marriage.
Yeah, he's working on that.
You know what I'm saying?
He's working on that. Found out he has another kid or something. I don't know. The
No,
rumors are true.
just named after him.
Yeah, that's a story for another day. I mean,
That's for next Tuesday.
Vrabel, if you don't know, Vrabel had a press conference before the draft tonight and said, your family probably needed you too when you were gallivanting around, on them as well. But, now that you've gotten caught, now all of a sudden the audience needs you. And your family needs you on that side.
Coop,
and this wasn't just based on the picture you talked about that they had of, I guess the Post of the Times 4 years earlier.
Yeah, New York Post had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today.
So
Vrabel's got some explaining to
so
do.
Coop, there's this comedian. I don't know if you've heard of his name, Sebastian Maniscalco. If you haven't seen him. You got Netflix, I'm sure, because you pay for all them things. You got so much money coming from your pension. Look him up because you will laugh your tail off at him. You and I got kind of the same sense of humor. And he was talking about, Tiger Woods and how he had to go to counseling. He goes, counseling for sex addiction and things like that. That's only for the guys who get caught.
Yeah,
and now Vrabel's going to leave the third round of the draft.
Yeah.
And he couldn't start on Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, look. I don't know what Diana Rossini's situation is like at
She's
home,
married.
but
She's married.
I know, but
Yeah,
I mean,
what is it?
but because
I can tell you.
I've seen some clips online of her talking about
dogging him.
dogging his husband. Yeah, she's dogging her husband out. I'm like, dude.
Well, I said it on the show the other day. I said, on PFF, right? It's Chris Sims and I just forgot the guy that runs PFF. Holy cow! I'm turning into you, Coop. You're rubbing off on me here. But they were talking, and Chris Sims started talking about some things he's heard from around the NFL over the years about that relationship.
Really?
And the head guy on PFF goes, "Hey, none of that's been publicly said. We're not breaking it here." Right. And kind of shut him down a little bit. Okay. So that tells me it's not a short secret in terms of the NFL circles. It's not a secret, but it's a secret that hasn't been gotten out to the general public.
You know that there's a line that she says that on this deal that she's a MILF. She said that. Diana Rossini. I saw that on.
You can't call yourself a MILF.
Yes, she did.
Somebody else has to call you a MILF.
No, she called herself that.
Well,
she says, "Guys, didn't I tell you that I want to be referred to as MILF?" Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah, but she, I think it was
unbelievable.
I think it was with Bussin' with the Boys. Your boy from Chaparral over there, Dale
Taylor Lewan.
Yeah, I think it was on his podcast and stuff. Yeah.
I
he was with them in Sedona, by the way. Him and his part Will Compton were there in Sedona with them. When those pictures
is that where there's supposed to be a breakfast?
Yeah, that was
but they weren't there.
We only bring that up because what I'm shocked about on the Patriots side, hey, I don't do what you're going to do in your life, right? I'm not going to, but you got to be smarter than it. But I didn't think he would have any outfall because of the team. Remember, Tom Brady left his pregnant wife to go with Giselle. The owner was caught doing shady things in a Florida massage, a massage
Robert
parlor.
Kraft, yeah.
Like, this isn't exactly the epitome of, Hernandez. I mean, do we need to get into that conversation?
No, that's completely different.
And, but judgment is what I'm getting
Coop,
at. And now Vrabel, all of a sudden Vrabel's got to do all this stuff to step away from the
I'm not saying you do, but if you were going to get a massage at a little strip mall, would you take your Rolls Royce or would you take your less expensive?
Yeah. Wasn't he on the way to the airport or something?
What I do is I probably take a Uber.
Yeah.
Or a cab.
No, I've told people this 1,000 times. You know what you do? You have that come to you. Yeah. You have the means for that to show up to you wherever you are.
Yeah.
Yes. Somebody else picks them up and brings them over. Look at this. Lawrence, edge from UCF. Central Florida gets a draft pick here. Malachi Lawrence here. To the Cowboys, they get their pass rusher here, Dale. I like this kid. To me, though, he needs to put on some weight. I thought that at UCF, with the teams that he was playing, and obviously in the Big 12 as well. But he's listed at 253 pounds, but he's 6'4" and 3/8 here. Cowboys, obviously, when he gets into the strength program, will put that on him coming up here. But the Cowboys do get that edge rusher that they need desperately, according to Jerry Jones. Is he going to be as good as, what's his name up in Green Bay now? That's the bigger question.
Dude, stop
My
it.
God.
He's not going to be better than Michael Parsons. It's not even close.
You know what these highlights have shown me, guys? Honestly, honest to goodness, there's some bad offensive linemen in college football.
Malachi Lawrence, Kobe, I don't know if you saw that. I was not watching the screen.
He did.
But,
He did put
you
it
did?
up.
Okay, sorry about that. I got
I
me
was
napping
paying
there.
attention.
Thank you, Dale. I know he did a name because I specifically did one for him. I thought he would go late in this first round. But Dale, at the same time, they're highlighting what these guys do. They're not going to have an offensive lineman shutting him down with a highlight. Wouldn't that be great if the Cowboys draft him and all they show is him getting stuffed at the line?
They're just looking for a better effort from the offensive lineman. I mean, you can't be a sieve to the
There has been
backfield.
several highlights where the offensive linemen look like they're not trying.
Coop, the whole thing with offensive linemen, get your head in the right spot.
Yeah.
If the play's going to the right, get your head play side. And so many times I'm watching these idiots. They're doing this. So it's like, okay, well, no, here, run and go get the running back or the quarterback.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know what kind of player he is. We're getting into, Dale Hellestrae status.
Yeah, right. The Browns pick is in. Let's take a quick break here, just really quick, and then reset. And we'll take it all the way, obviously, to the final pick here as well. Browns with their trades. It's up here at 24. They picked the lineman earlier, if I remember correctly. So where do they go here?
Yeah, the Browns, with their first pick, took Spencer Fano.
That's right. It was Fano, the first lineman off there. So we'll come back, talk about the Browns pick, and get you through the rest of this draft. Appreciate you joining us. Stay with us here on the YouTube and on Robat TV. We'll be right back. came in.
Coop, how did you ever do TV? How'd you ever do TV?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, you had 2.5 minute sportscasts.
Yeah.
How'd you ever do that?
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: the producers hated me out in the field because now it's total ad lib. There's no script. I'm totally ad lib out there. And when I'm in a commercial break, they always tell me less time that I have so that I can get out on time. And I like having my Sunday night shows where I got a full half hour.
Yeah.
I got a little bit more time there.
Browns took Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
45 on the. We're getting some guys bumping up ahead of where they were expected to go.
Yeah, you know who Concepcion reminds me of? A former local product, Christian Kirk.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, he does. I mean,
He's only 5'11", I think, right?
Yeah,
5'11"?
Christian Kirk's not that tall.
Yeah.
You can put him back returning punts. You can return kickoffs. You can put him in the slots. You can put him out wide. You can run reverses with him. He just putting the ball in his hands and letting him be elusive and turn on the jets. I mean, he will remind you of Christian Kirk.
And so the Browns got Spencer Fano from Utah, offensive tackle, and now, of course, a receiver. Browns filling some holes here. I mean, who's going to throw the ball to him is the bigger question. The Pro Bowler, Shedeur Sanders?
You're not going to believe this.
Deshaun Watson coming off of his massage store?
They are actually talking about Deshaun Watson being healthy and ready to go now.
Yeah, the problem is the first game he's going to quit on him the second something that happens.
Not.
He quits, Dale.
No,
he quits
he's
on
not.
him repeatedly. The quitter. Bears are up for their pick as well here. 25th, I think we're at for the Chicago Bears.
25 for the Bears.
Here's what do the Bears need going to this with their successful season last year?
Well, look. They brought in a first-year head coach from Detroit, and he was able to unlock Caleb Williams, or just basically let Caleb Williams be him.
Right.
He didn't try to structure him or make him into a pocket passer like the previous coaching staff did. They allowed him to get outside and use his creativity, if you will, and he made a lot of magical plays.
Let me tell you, Coop, here's the way I heard about it and I read about it was the fact they threw everything at him. Threw everything at him in the spring and in the early summer, and then they dialed it back to the things that fit him. I see so many coaches, and I think this is where quarterbacks go awry, is the fact that this is my offense, the coach says.
Yeah.
This is my offense, and we're going to run my offense instead of going, well, Coop, what do you do best?
Yeah, and I think that Jonathan Gannon and his staff came in. I think they failed Kyler there. Kyler had more productive years under, obviously, his first coaching staff, and they kind of tailored things like I said.
It was the last regime here that's no longer here. Was like this is our offense. You're running our offense, and it didn't fit anybody out there. So, what's his name that went to Detroit? I'd like to forget he exists in my mind. Petzing, yes, as well. Interesting thing, really quick on that Browns pick, Casey Concepcion, wide receiver, Texas A&M. We still have Denzel Boston out there from Washington that's been skipped over here.
I think the Bears are pretty good offensively, but I think they made a surprising trade. They traded their wide receiver.
DJ Moore? Yeah, they needed to do that. He's just whoever they draft here with their wide receiver. Omar Cooper's still available as well right now there as well from Indiana. So I would be shocked if the Bears go wide receiver here. Like you said, DJ Moore's gone. Whoever they draft here will probably be better than DJ Moore ever was in Chicago. I just never was high on him. There as well, and so something to keep our eye on here. But we're starting to see some guys jumping above guys that were expected to go, at least by now point. We're seeing some guys lower ranked, second rounders, jumping up into this first round, which I always find interesting with these teams on why they like those guys a little bit different. I'll like Casey Concepcion there as well on that draft pick. So Bears to me, unless they go defensive side. They need some cornerback help, right? They have that one kid that likes to party and celebrate instead of defend his team.
And play through. Yeah.
But I do like a wide receiver here going to the Bears. We'll have to see here as we're waiting for that pick coming up as we're getting into the teams that need to fill holes.
Coop, where do you think the Bears are going to take?
Well, I'm kind of looking, Caleb was so magical for them.
Yeah.
He really was. And I know you weren't high on DJ Moore, but Moore made some clutch catches on, fourth and ball game situation for him. I do see them going receiver here, and I'm gonna go ahead and say Omar Cooper from Indiana.
Okay, well, the pick is in.
Yeah, he's about to announce it. I like Cooper. I don't know why he's still available, to be honest with you.
We went to Indiana.
No.
Nobody likes Indiana.
Except for the last couple-year run that they've had here. Plus, right, Chicago, right up the road there from Bloomington a little bit. And go safety.
Okay.
I just mentioned it. They need secondary help there. I put it on the kid, of course, that celebrated instead of playing defense.
Well, take your sunglasses
I
off. You're indoors.
Come on,
man.
The lights are bright there on the 25th pick to Chicago. There, Dale. Here's the other side of it. He might be, he's going in Oregon here, but if they would have taken Cooper, he might have been playing for the Indiana Bears here coming up. So.
Oh, stop it! I don't think that's not going to happen.
Dylan Thieneman.
And let me tell you what, I guarantee you, the Indianapolis Colts, they would have balked big time at
to go across that border.
Yeah.
Although the Gary, Indiana area is part of the Chicago market. Yeah, they would have balked because they were going to get a better deal than the Colts are getting in Indianapolis in terms of a stadium and tax rebates and that stuff. So
and you're going to lose some fans to Chicago that would be your hometown guy.
Yeah, because you're not getting a lot of season ticket holders from that upper Indiana area. Whereas like when the Chargers went to LA, there's a lot of controversy. But most of their season ticket holders were actually from that southern LA area that drove down to San Diego there. But safety Oregon going to the Bears, not a surprise to me. They needed that secondary help. But it is a surprise because you got two good receivers on the board right now that they could have snatched up to fill that role. That tells me they view the defensive side a little bit more there.
Well, this is a pretty deep draft for receivers. Mm-hmm. I've already told you that I like a kid from Georgia State, Ted Hurst. Yes. There's Malachi Fields from Notre Dame that's still there. Let's see, I'm losing the kid from Connecticut, UConn. What was his name?
Yeah, you liked him a lot, yeah. But you get down to
Skylar Bale.
Don't draft kids from small schools. We've learned that over the years as a Cardinals fan.
Well, let me tell you something. There's a kid from Louisville. His name is Chris Bale.
That's a medium school.
Chris Bale would have been a first-round pick, but he tore his ACL.
Okay.
So I figured that he will drop in the second round. But the kid is a tremendous talent, and so I think the Bears are looking at it and says we can still get a receiver later. I mean, and keep in mind, Indiana had more than just Omar Cooper. They had Surratt also
absolutely.
as a receiver. And this is going to be a deep class for receivers. So.
Yeah, I agree. And the nice kid, like you see here, this kid can be a punt returner if they want him to be. But he also is one of those guys that plays safety, but he comes down, can rush to get into that backfield. For the Bears, and if there's anything about the Bears and their head coach there coming from the Detroit system, they like chaos to confuse the guys on the field. So a solid pick here for the Bears. Texans are on the board right now.
Just made a trade.
26 as well.
Yeah, I thought the Bills had this.
Yeah, they just traded.
Yep, they just traded it.
Trade with the Bills.
Yeah, but just popped up, and I was kind of looking there. That's why I was trying to get ahead of that and see what the actual trade was here. Texans are moving up. Texans were rumored to move up with the Cardinals. They were rumored to move up with several teams. So they must really, really like somebody because they've been trying to get up into this.
Well, I'll guarantee you that they won't be drafting a receiver.
So that Lomu has not been drafted
yet.
Nope,
he's still available.
So I guess we talked about him. I thought he got drafted, but he's not been drafted yet.
From a Utah, right?
Yeah.
Nope, he is still available, which is my question here. Texans, defensive line.
Well, I can see the Texans going offensive line, but really? I guarantee you they will.
No wide receiver? They need help.
No, are you kidding me?
You can't stay healthy.
Well, look, they drafted they drafted two receivers in the second round from Iowa State last year.
Yeah.
and they already have one of the best in
Not
the
good. They need offensive line. Their offensive line was atrocious last year.
I could see. Like I said, I have a photographer that worked for me for years at 12 News. He's now doing some freelancing, so he's working for ESPN. So all the different cameras you see that at home.
At the home.
He's at Lomu's place. He's at his. He told me he's at his in-laws' place up in Las Sendas
out by me out there.
Okay.
Yeah, out in Mesa.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he can buy
from
this.
here,
one.
right?
So
Let's
it
see.
gets picked here.
So-
I do agree. This is probably an offensive lineman for the Texans.
I would say it's Lomu.
You can buy that place in Los Angeles if he gets drafted here.
I don't know. Los
Well, I wouldn't know
Angeles
that, but my buddy was letting me know
Los
that.
Angeles. Oh no!
Oh,
Kalen Rutledge here
What?
to the
A guard.
Texans, going with a guard here. I mean, they needed a lot of offensive help,
and
so I
let me
guess
tell you
that
something.
makes
Let me
sense.
tell you something. He ain't better than the guy I've been telling you guys about.
6'3", 5'8", and 316 pounds right now.
He's not better than Jennings Dunker.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that right now. I'm gonna tell you that.
As a
right
guard?
now. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to write this down.
You
All right, and in 3 years we got to try. All three of us got to try and remember.
Hey, you see that guy right there?
Here, San Francisco is trading their pick to Miami right now as well. So they're trading out of the first round, and guys are jumping up in the first round here as well. So Miami's up into the first round coming up here. Now, see, that doesn't surprise me that they jumped up there, the Texans, to get an out, because the offensive linemen are going on this run.
Offensive linemen.
But I mean, they're becoming thin.
I thought it was going to be Lomu. Now, I'm feeling bad for Lomu because now this is the place that I had him going.
Yeah, well, maybe Miami's moving up to take him.
To the 49ers. Well, Miami's already taken it.
Yep.
And who did Miami take? Yeah, they took Caden Proctor.
Yeah, that's a problem. They took Proctor, yeah.
Well, San Francisco moving into the spot to get Lomu.
But they took Proctor already.
49ers have moved out of it. So the
49ers?
Huh?
The 49ers moved out of the spot.
Yeah, they moved out.
Miami traded with them.
Okay, so we're talking Miami now. Okay.
Yeah, Miami's got the pick now. They traded with San
Oh.
Francisco. So San Francisco
that's what
can't get more talent right now. Like, they need more of it. But San Francisco just needs to trade to the final round and just pick everybody last. Can we get the last 5 picks, please? So they can come through for us here as well. So a lot of guys are trading out of this first round and moving into the first round and moving back up as well.
I'm telling you right now, Dale, just as sure as you're born, the Texans took Kalen Rutledge, the guard from Georgia Tech, and I'm telling you that
The guy from Iowa.
absolutely that played right tackle for him. Dunker, move inside the right guard. He is the second best interior lineman, and it's not by much from Ione.
Okay, so we've got one young lady in here who probably has a better memory than all of us. Hopefully she can remember for a couple of years. And we're going to keep an eye on that.
Hey, he has my draft.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, we got it. We'll be taking care of it. I got to go back and take notes when we're not in the moment to find this out here. But, I mean, there's some big names. I mean, Rutledge wasn't a high-profile player. I don't think we had a graphic for him here. So we've seen two offensive linemen, by the way, that are not top 40 picks that we have graphics for be taken here in this first round, is my point. There's a run on these guys.
Look, Georgia Tech put up a lot of yards rushing, but they had a quarterback named Haynes King, a guy that I had the Cardinals taking with their 6th pick. He's a very athletic quarterback. He makes guys like Rutledge look better than they are.
Don't they run the veer?
That weird.
Yeah, they do a lot of that, but
They run outside.
But I'm not trying to throw shade on him. He's a good lineman, but I just don't see him better than Jennings Dunker.
I know you're not trying to throw shade on him, but it's getting pretty dark where he's standing right now, Coop.
Okay, all right. So the Dolphins have this next pick, and we know it won't be Lomu because they took Caden Proctor.
They took somebody earlier, unless they're just really stacking up that line with their new head coach down there in Miami.
Well, they also got rid of Tyreek Hill. So
Yes.
and they also traded their other wide receiver from Alabama.
I mean they have a lot of holes as this new staff coming in. It's a new offense.
They have to take a receiver here. God, God, why am I losing it? They had Tyreek Hill and this other guy that he played at Alabama, wore number 17. Oh,
I don't know. I don't know Alabama numbers.
No. But he wore number 17 with Miami.
Oh, with Miami. Oh, Waddle.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For some reason, I know 17 for the Dolphins. I don't know why I know that.
Yeah. Okay. So they traded Waddle and Tyreek Hill's retired.
Yeah.
They need a receiver. Miami will take a receiver here. It'll either be Denzel Boston or Omar Cooper.
I can't believe Boston's still available. I was talking to you about this during our last break here and going, remember back in the day when it was like Washington, it was like this player from Washington drafted this player. There's only one guy, and he's still on the board. Boston from Washington, and I'll get that straight there as well, and stuff like that. So it's an amazing thing to see how some of these big-time schools over the last several years just aren't getting guys into the pro, at least in the first round out there. Papa Mike does say, okay, now I see why Bruce was so triggered. He goes, I just looked on X, and wow, there's a lot of comments about paying a running back that much. Apparently, not many are aware of what Bruce explained. No, that's my point. I think you know that you're paying that amount, whatever. I think the reaction is people don't want to pay a running back that amount of money, as what we're looking at. Robert says, nice pick by the Hammond Bears as well. And that Dolphins fan looks just depressed.
Chris Johnson, defensive back from San Diego State.
Good.
Dude,
Where's he on your big board?
He wasn't in my first round at all.
We do have a graphic on him. I did do one on him from San Diego State because he was my one guy. I was like, should I do one on a San Diego State guy? Chris Johnson, San Diego State to the Dolphins.
He's not the running back that played for the Titans.
2K Johnson or whatever his name is.
Look, I don't understand Miami.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They're going to be looking for a new head coach here in another couple of years. The rate they're picking here. I mean, this kid's tall. He's fast.
Look, I understand Caden Proctor, but look, you got rid of your quarterback.
Keep in mind, they traded up for this pick.
They got rid of their quarterback. He's now with the Falcons. So they signed the kid Malik Willis from the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Malik needs some weapons.
Right.
You don't have any receiver for him right now. Jalen Waddle was traded, and Tyreek Hill's leaving.
Oh.
Who you got?
I saw a lot of people.
It's almost like you're not setting them up for success.
Absolutely.
I saw a lot of people say Chris Johnson to the Chiefs in terms of mock drafts and things to that effect here. But they trade. Keep in mind, the Dolphins traded up for Chris Johnson as a cornerback with all their holes and stuff like that, which does seem a little bit more of a surprise for me on that side from San Diego State.
Caden Proctor made sense because he would give Malik Willis some type of protection. You can also open up some holes for their running game. They have one of the elite fast running backs in all of football. But, I mean, you left nothing on the perimeter.
Right. And that's what your quarterback needs.
Yeah.
He's 6 foot, 185 pounds, by the way, for a cornerback, Chris Johnson.
I don't know.
34 solo tackles last season. But he's with San Diego State.
Yeah.
Patriots are in. Let's see what Vrabel does here.
Yeah, I gotta say, do you see Vrabel? Is he there the first right?
Is Vrabel making what is he picking up? His next mistress that won't get him in trouble?
Wow.
What's he doing here?
Is he got to call into Rossini? Hey, here's what we're taking.
She's putting it out on Twitter here on her new Substack that you can subscribe to. Oh, Lordy. We're having too much fun here with that situation.
You have to take it quick.
Oh, Patriots coming in? Man.
I would have said offensive linemen, to be honest with you, because they had some young guys that struggled last year.
How about Caleb Lomu?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought. They're getting A.J. Brown. Yep, right there you go.
Yeah.
Go.
And this next shot, when you go to his home,
Caleb Lomu.
my boy is there.
He's the camera guy, right?
Jim Escobar. Yeah, he's the guy there.
He should be in there giving him a hug first before his mom. Is the camera guy.
And that's in Las Sendas, huh?
Yeah, he's up
there
in
North Mesa.
And he described the home. Let's put it like this:
those are nice homes.
His father-in-law is very wealthy.
Those are very nice homes
Very
up there.
wealthy.
Yeah, just
but this is unique. This is like a 3 kind of tiered type of home. He says where you come in at first.
Look at those lights in the background there. Gee, I mean, come on. How pretentious can you
be? The way he described this home.
Those are Hellestrae lights.
He said that his father-in-law owned some big auto parts place or something. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, now is gonna have to. Now he doesn't have to keep asking father-in-law for money now with his first round draft pick here from Utah. Of course, obviously from
you
here.
hit him?
Look at him outside there. Look at him go, mixing it up.
Knock him down for crying out loud.
Make him get off the ground. I'm surprised he's there. I'm not surprised that they did. Patriots did go get him. They needed some offensive line help. They had some young guys struggle there on that Super Bowl run last year, and then also just Vrabel loves that type of talent. So did he call that one in, or did he? Do they check with him? Can you interrupt your counseling session real quick and tell us if you're okay with
my photographer Jim Escobedo? He's the guy
Right
that's got
Well,
those.
tell him to
got the
expand it so we still
Yeah.
over the room.
all we see are those pretentious lights in the background with sheeting over him there as well. So look at that. Lomu's finally off the board as well. I'm not going to say he fell because he was always going to be a late first rounder.
Yeah.
From that perspective,
I
like that home for him in New
I
England.
actually had him going one pick earlier to the 49ers at 27. And that was the last chance I had to nail some. Because I got the first 3 picks right. Granted, the first one with the Raiders was handed to me.
Yeah.
But I certainly didn't think that the Cardinals would come through and take my boy Jeremiah Love.
A lot of the mock drafts I saw on average had him going to the Bears at 25 in that time frame. The Browns, I saw him a couple times there as well. So yeah, he's always going to be a late rounder there for him. But good for him. Local kid. Where did he go to high school?
Highland High School in
I was
Gilbert.
going to say it was Highland, right? Yeah.
Lomu did?
Yeah, he went,
You remember watching him play, don't you?
He went to the same high school as my son, the same high school as Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah.
Really? I didn't. God,
Yeah.
I don't know if we ever do Highland games.
Well, he also went to Utah, so he's easy to be forgotten about.
Did he
You
go
forget
straight
about him.
from Highland to Utah?
He did.
I'd say as a freshman, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He declared there, yeah.
I did not know that, Coop. That's
What's-
why we have you here.
What's with the run of Highland kids going to Oregon, by the way? Here
Dude,
coming
I don't
up?
even know.
Why is
I
that a
don't even know.
pipeline all of a sudden, by the way?
I
When did that become a
I
thing?
ain't feeling the Ducks.
Yeah. Okay, so Coop, we got 2 picks left.
Yep. Chiefs are up next. Of course,
we got 4 picks left. There's 39.
yeah.
There's 29,
Chiefs,
30, 31,
Dolphins,
32.
Patriots and Seahawks. Well, I don't know what the trading.
Patriots
Did you,
just
Yeah, with some of
picked,
these
right?
trades. I don't know
yeah,
what's
some of the
going on.
Coop didn't do a good job of keeping those trades. You're supposed to help me out there, Coop.
Yeah,
I thought we were on pick 30.
We're on
we're
29.
29.
Chiefs
So that's the
pick is in.
Chiefs.
Yes, Chiefs pick is in. Right now, they need. I mean, could see defense here. They took defense earlier, right?
No, let's see what Kansas City did
Yeah,
first.
you gotta remember.
Kansas City moved up and took the
moved-
Mansour Delane, the corner.
That's right.
corner
They
from
moved up
LSU.
3 spots to get him. So I could see an offensive guy here as well. Give Patrick Mahomes what he desperately needs, some help. Maybe is there a good tight end on the board still? All the tight ends off?
Well, I would have had with
The Oregon tight end, does he go off?
yeah,
he went off,
Sadiq
right?
is gone.
Yeah, Sadiq went off.
yeah, with and like I said, with Kelsey on his last leg,
Yeah.
I mean that would have been a nice selection for
Right.
them to make with Sadiq.
Maybe second. Well, no, because they pass rush. Chris Jones is getting up there in age with his contract. I think aren't they pretty set on offensive line at this time, the Chiefs? But they're missing a lot of those skill guys with Pacheco leaving and guys like that. But
here's the deal:
it's uprights.
they have Kenneth Walker, who they got
Yeah,
from the
that is true.
Super Bowl champion
That is
Seahawks. So their running game is going to be fine.
yeah, he can be all right from that side. So I'd say defense here is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Maybe a secondary,
I think so.
unless they go receiver. I mean, Omar Cooper is still out there.
Yeah. And
They're not. Look, Andy Reid's not afraid to stack up on him. Plus, you don't. I mean, is Rice going to be there most of the season this year?
Well, that's a
You know
good
what I mean?
question.
Off the field stuff.
That's a very good question. It's a very
So
good question.
you got things like that you've got to think about.
Yeah,
but I can see it. I can see it, guy.
I can see them giving Patrick some more receiving help.
Has Peter Woods been drafted yet?
No.
I didn't think so. What's up with
don't-
that?
No, look, I have him going 34 to the Cardinals.
Okay.
Don't
Sorry.
don't-
There we go.
don't
Hey,
mess me up.
NFL, who's watching us right now? I didn't say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to distract you. The New York Knicks lost again tonight to Atlanta, so they're down 2-1.
I want that chaos,
That
man.
game was in
I
Atlanta.
want that.
It was in
yeah.
Atlanta, yeah. So they're down 2-1.
And they had just blown a huge lead too in game 2, so this is like a
Yeah, they
hangover
did.
game.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and Thibodeau's on the hot seat, and everybody's flipping out about it as well. Pick is in for your Kansas City Chiefs.
Let's go Omar Cooper. We'll try it one more time.
I wouldn't be shocked if I know we keep missing on him. I wouldn't be shocked if wide receiver here, which means it'll be some defensive lineman or something coming up here, an edge guy.
Either Denzel
Well,
Boston
it could be
or
that
Omar,
Zion Young. I mean,
Denzel Boston or Omar Cooper. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I forgot about Boston still available with Washington. Yes. He's kind of
probably
fallen.
the highest rated guy left.
He's kind
on
of
everybody's
fallen.
board.
Let's see here. We got Peter Woods,
Dude,
Clemson.
no.
Peter Woods.
Bruce, I would like to apologize for you for bringing that up. Defensive tackle. I told you Chris Jones is getting up there in large contracts and everything.
You had him
First of all,
tag for the Cardinals?
that is the most beautiful party
Sex.
I've ever seen in my life.
Look at
Everybody's in
that.
white except for him. That is amazing.
Dale's second pick in the second round, Peter Woods to the Cardinals.
6'2", 298 pounds. Peter, I like him a lot. Defensive tackle, even though he played at Clemson.
Watch the offensive line.
I liked him there. That's against Miami. That's against Texas.
He has good lateral quickness. Dale, he can bull rush. He actually goes and makes tackles. He doesn't let the necessarily.
He's being
come
double
in.
teamed right there. Look at
No,
that. 49ers are.
He's running a stunt.
Look
not
at
being
that. Being double teamed. Dale, I'm trying to hype him up. Come on.
Number
Trying to hype
11.
him
He's
up.
number 11. Dale, check him out.
Wow.
Dale, see that
Oh,
swim?
look at that
See that
swim
swim?
right
Look
there.
at the weight distribution by the offensive
See that
lineman.
swim? See that chase? Come on, Dale.
Cool.
Come on.
You could play right guard for whatever team that was.
Dale, I want that guy next to Walter Nolan, but I can't.
Well, not now. You're not. That's a fantastic picture right there with all the white with the black on the others. I like him a lot too. This is a solid pickup for the Chiefs there on that defensive line. I like that a lot. Hey, Jets are up again. Jets trade up to number 30. 49ers move down, get number 33 and number 179.
God, this is Jets. Is their third pick in the first round?
And the Niners are just constantly trading down here. They just
Make the hat bigger.
Niners don't want to. Niners, hey, it can't shine up that very expensive necklace.
The Jets now have to know they have to take a receiver here, right?
I would think so. I'm not going to say Cooper because every time we say it, we're wrong. But it's got to be Cooper or Boston.
The Jets have gone David Bailey.
Yeah.
And then they came back and they took Kenyon Sadiq.
Well, don't you think that's a receiver? Don't you go defense?
Well, that's a good point.
Well, you kind of consider him a receiver.
Well, they did trade their interior differently, so they could go actually Kalen McDonald from Ohio State.
If Aaron Glenn doesn't build up this defense, I'll be shocked.
This could be the Ohio State defensive tackle.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is defense all along here. Zion Young, no, I like him a lot too. Out of Missouri.
You got some edge guys up there.
Yeah, that's a Zion Young who should be a first rounder. He's kind of fallen a little bit here, but like Falk, another one from Auburn. I know you like him a lot.
Yeah,
too.
I did.
So it'd be interesting to see. But to me, with Aaron Glenn as a head, you could tell your head coach he needs to build up that defense and start from that side of things, especially the way they played last year. That defense was atrocious last year for the Jets as well. And but yeah, this is the amazing thing, man. The trade up for the Jets here to get into this first round and get the guys that they want.
I think ESPN told NFL you got to have this done by 8 o'clock.
I know.
You got another
Yeah.
program.
Well, that's why
going.
earlier today when we were doing the math, I was like, "There's no way this is lasting 5 hours tonight."
That was not pretty.
Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver. I'm actually surprised by that.
Yeah, I'm sorry I came off that.
Well, no, that's why I came off
it.
it, Goo. I said if we would have picked him, they would have been like, we're picking Bernard from Alabama or something. But yeah, Omar Cooper Jr. finally off the board.
I said Boston or Cooper, but then I realized, well, yeah, they sure did. Dale mentioned that don't you go defense here? And I'm looking look what they did their first 2 picks. Dale's right. I agree with Dale. That's what they should have done.
Aaron Glenn is your head coach. He's defensive coaches and how bad their defense was last year. Defensive coaches that have strong offenses, do they generally work out as head coaches? But fascinating to see here as well. So look at this. They got him. Yeah, see, that's what I love about. This is what I love about Cooper.
I watched this game. And
the Penn State game where he catches it in the back of the end. The kid's amazing.
I thought Indiana had lost his first game of the season, and I'm telling you, I still didn't believe that catch.
Who threw that ball to him?
Some guy named Mendoza. You ever heard of him?
All right.
I heard a rumor he got drafted 3 hours ago, but I don't remember now as well. So the 49ers, I missed it there. 49ers are in the second round now with a couple picks. They traded out. I like Cooper Jr. a lot.
Yeah.
Because the thing about that catch in the back of the end zone, if you remember what it was at home against Penn State when they were down, it wasn't just that it was the last play of the game. He had to get his toe down. All of that stuff out there. It's just he was being contested in that moment. Huge moment for a guy and a team that just hadn't been in a lot of those moments over the years and everything. And that's what impressed me the most, just the calmness to make that catch. there as well. So Omar Cooper Jr. off the board. Your Buffalo Bills, Dale, here at the 31 spot.
Yeah, Dale, what are your Bills going to do?
Yeah, is there a Reed coming out here? Is there a Hall of Fame quarterback? Maybe a Hall of Fame defensive end? Maybe a future Super Bowl winner in Dallas coming out here for the Buffalo Bills?
I'm going to go
With
back.
their head coach?
I'm going to go back-to-back receivers. I mean, Josh Allen.
He needs receiver.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I'm going Denzel Boston.
They went with Joe Brady, Josh Allen's guy as head coach, specifically because of their relationship. On top of that, and you can't tell me they did that and then they didn't say, what does Josh Allen need to be successful here after struggling last year with no receiver? I think they need to build up offense here beyond belief here in Buffalo. So I'd be shocked here if this isn't a receiver.
Denzel Boston. And then we close out the first round with Jadarian Price, running back to the Seahawks. They need another running back.
But Kenneth Walker?
With Kenneth Walker gone and Zach Charbonneau tore his ACL.
Yeah, he's going to miss most of the season.
Yeah.
He tore it late in the year, so he's going to miss most of that season as well. Bills here, they need defensive help as well.
Trade alert.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills are trading the pick out. Well, I guess Josh Allen, they're giving him 2 middle fingers. Tennessee coming back up. Robert Salah coming back up here in Tennessee. Look at that. I've never seen so many Tennessee fans.
Who are they? Who is Tennessee trading back up for?
Tennessee never took a receiver.
They had the receiver as their first pick.
Oh,
Cornell
you're right.
Tate.
They took
Cornell Tate. Yeah, from Ohio State.
Oh, you're absolutely
that was
right.
the shocker there that they went up.
So this got to be defense. Missouri guy? Is this the Missouri guy?
You know what? I feel bad for Denzel Boston. He's not going to get drafted.
No, he's going to go second round. Yeah. Yeah, Seattle doesn't need him as a receiver.
No.
Unless Seattle trades. Everybody wants to trade back into this first round. I mean, we knew there could be a flurry here, but this is kind of a shocker that's happening as we're looking as well. Is Mel Kiper right now talking about how Shedeur Sanders should be drafted by now? Is that what he's talking about right now? Still on that from last year. Robert says good value pick by Rossini there, meaning the Patriots. I love that. That's just going to be an ongoing joke here. We have our new draft pick there as well, or at least a joke there. Hey, we appreciate everybody joining us here as we're wrapping this up. We'll do a little recap here at the end really quick as well, so stick with us here on, hey, look, our first foray into YouTube and trying this here, obviously live on Robat TV as well. We'll be back tomorrow morning, of course, 8 o'clock after McCollum on Business at 7. Make sure you join us. Tomorrow we'll talk a little bit more draft and a lot of other stuff out there. And also give a little shout out here. John Holmberg, feel better, man. Nobody likes to be sick. Guys, hopefully he feels a little bit better and is able to get back to radio tomorrow as well for him. And I know Roger Goodell's up there making this about him right now. He's probably not, but I like to think that he is. He's congratulating the Pittsburgh crowd. 31st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Kedrick Falk, their edge, Auburn. That doesn't surprise. Robert Salah needs to draft some defensive guys. The thing that strikes me about a lot of these edge guys is, they're fast, they're taller, but man, they do not look
he
big.
has some size. He's like 6'6", man.
Yeah, but I know, but that's what I mean. It makes him look skinny, makes him look like he doesn't have any muscle tone and things to that effect.
No, they have muscle tone, but they might look lean.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this dude. The interesting thing is
Kedrick
what
Falk.
I would love to see ESPN do is do a flyover of all the guys still sitting there.
Yeah. Well, they only do it if they're the high profile
of them
guys.
are?
Yeah. They they only do it when it's a quarterback or a high end receiver that falls, like a Shedeur Sanders type. Other than that, they kind of leave them alone.
How much of a relief is that? You don't have to go back to your hotel tonight. I wonder how you're going to pay for the room.
I think everybody that was a high draft pick was drafted tonight. Nobody's really. Bain was the one that fell the farthest, but I don't think a lot of other guys fell too far. And we'll do a as I said, we'll do a recap here coming up. But Kedrick Falk here to the Tennessee Titans, who traded up to get him a defense or an edge, from Auburn.
Yeah, obviously the teams with the multiple picks, when you're looking to try to grade the first round, you're the ones with the multiple picks, you're going to give them, the higher grade. But hey, man, I'm giving the Cardinals an A+. And they had one pick, 3rd overall. I'm just so elated. I'm just stoked. I'm giving them an A+.
I'll leave it. Well, I mean, like I said, the Ty Simpson thing. if you look at it as a whole, and we'll probably talk more about this tomorrow, the more I sit here and think about it, just what they did in that press conference, and now, Jacoby Brissett wants starter money. He's sitting out of the OTAs with the new coach there. And, just all that talk of, the hype of going and getting Ty Simpson, and then your division foe go and get him on top of that, several draft picks ahead of when you were wanting to do it. I don't know. It's just you can take the good of Jeremiah Love, but also I look at it as a whole there, and it's just the Cardinals still screwed up the whole situation.
No, they didn't.
Wow.
Just
Screwed up the whole
Just
situation
garbage.
because of Ty Simpson.
If they didn't do that press conference last week, man, Brissett would be in there and they'd be working out stuff and all of that stuff.
Brissett will come back and he doesn't have any choices.
He's gonna be one in whatever next year. Make $1 million a win next year.
Well, they'll have better people around him.
Absolutely, with Love, absolutely.
And here's, I disagree. I'm.
By the way,
okay.
Seattle's on the clock.
I didn't see Ty Simpson beating out Brissett or.
Did you hear that press conference?
Minshew.
I know it was after you were on last week. Did you hear that press conference?
I didn't hear.
Yeah, they were. I'm not too sure about that. Hey, by the way, 49ers, 33rd pick. So they're the first pick of the second round tomorrow with their trade here out of the first round. So they'll pick right before your Arizona Cardinals tomorrow for round 2 of the NFL draft.
Well, who is it that just Kansas City blew my second round pick? And if I'm the Seahawks, I definitely take Jadarian Price, running back Notre Dame, right here.
Really?
I do.
And
They lost their running game.
not their game. They had 2 running backs.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker is with the Kansas City Chiefs
Right.
now.
But Kenneth Walker was the better one.
Zach Charbonneau will not be healthy. He tore his ACL like right around the last week of this regular season. He's done. He's going to miss a good portion of this next season. Seattle, if they want to be able to run the ball, because they didn't do anything in free agency.
Right.
They didn't do anything in free agency.
Well, they just signed
well, I mean, in that regard,
the receiver. Yeah, they signed Ohio State receiver and hyphen. They signed him, but don't sleep on right now Zion Young going to the Seahawks as well. Shore up that defense there.
Got to be the running game.
So by my count here on the big boards that I kind of looked at and went through and everything, Denzel Boston's still available, which Seahawks don't need a receiver. And then it looks like Zion Young, edge from Missouri. Looks like those are the 2 guys on the big board for first-round picks that are still available. Everybody else is gone as of right now. Kendrick Falk moved up. He was he's first-rounder as well. He was ranked 26th there. But Jermod from McCoy, cornerback from Tennessee, still out there. C.J. Allen, linebacker from Georgia, still available. Like you said, Jadarian Price, who you think is going to go here's available as well. So those are the guys that projected to be first rounders that look like, at least, depending who goes here, sliding into the second round. And Seattle Seahawks with the final pick of round 1. I said it a little bit early. You got to wait for Roger Goodell to mosey on his way out there.
He's got things to do, Steve.
Walk out with that guy? Do not make fun of that guy, gentlemen.
No, you're the one who got yourself into that. You get yourself out.
So just let that sit there for a second.
Yeah. Look. You got to give a tip of the cap to what the Seahawks were able to do this past season, and I just don't see any drop off in their game outside of their running game, and so
they made that move in the secondary, but the guy that I'm forgetting the names right now, but the guy that has taken over played a lot of games last year and can step into it. That was the other big move that they made. They let what's his name go.
Yeah.
And I'm completely.
Well, you guys got a lot of what's your names over there.
Know. Well, it's late in the night, man. I've had a long day, Dale.
Dale, I tell you, my memory. I'm not as sharp as I used to be.
So does the Seattle quarterback? Do you remember his name?
Yeah, Sam Darnold. Right?
Okay, does he have another year in him like he did this year?
I think so. Especially they can
their
take
head
pressure
coach,
off of him.
His head coach is gone. I mean, his offensive coordinator's gone. That's the question. Going down to Vegas to run the Vegas team there. So that's the question. What's the new relationship with the offensive coordinator up there? Seattle Seahawks are taking. Oh, he's
boy.
celebrating the reigning Super Bowl champions. Right there. Go, kid, go! Right there. Seattle brought their cheerleaders there as
Those are
well.
called cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders. They're women.
Wow.
Jadarian Price, running back
nailed it
Notre
right
Dame.
there.
There
Notre
you
Dame
go.
running
There
back.
you go.
32nd pick, running back Jadarian Price from Notre Dame up there. So Notre Dame had what? Two
running
first-round
backs.
draft picks, and both of them being running backs drafted in the first round here.
Hey, look, this only made sense based on what they lost.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Jadarian Price, he would have been a starter on most teams, but he was running behind some dude named
Jeremiah
Jeremiah
Love.
Love. Watch. He's a one cut runner, and he feasts in the zone running game, and that's what Seattle runs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So our first pick in, we resume the NFL draft. Well, we're not doing a draft show after tonight. We're not doing round two. That's
No, because you guys don't care
Too much,
two
yeah.
bits about the second, third, fourth round guys. The meat of
Who
your
doesn't?
roster.
Who does? I
Steve,
care.
Steve doesn't.
First of all, Dale, the amount of failures that were just drafted tonight is enough for me to feel sorry for. I don't need to feel sorry for the other guys.
You got guys whose lives are going to change tomorrow, Coop. I mean, whose dreams are going to live on.
And I will be there,
Yeah.
front row center watching.
Yeah.
And now I got to find someone else for the Cardinals now.
Yeah.
At 34.
Yeah. And it's after the Niners. So who are the Niners going to steal ahead of the Cardinals is the bigger question. Ernest Cook says, Coop is a draft prophet. Boy, folks, if you haven't been part of this program on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock when Coop's been in here for about the last 2 months, yeah, you have no idea how right that statement is right there as well. Robert says, seems like Monty has already called it a night. Good teams make a move. Cardinals, I had said that before. I would not have liked the Cardinals to trade up into this first round and
Not
give
for
up
any of
draft
those
assets
guys.
for any
Not
of those
for
guys.
any of those guys, no.
You know, anything like that. Even then, Type Simpson, I wouldn't have been happy with. No, stay where you are. Keep your draft picks. You have holes to fill. That was my philosophy, at least. But guys, gentlemen, as we wrap this up here, first of all, appreciate it. Appreciate you guys watching us at home as well on YouTube and, of course, on Robat TV as well. But successful draft night. Lots of surprises. You know, we'll have to go back and see why the Chiefs traded up to 3 spots, why the Cowboys made that move to move up as well. But dang it, Cardinals did something we all thought they should do, and nobody thought they would. Jeremiah Love.
Absolutely. How about that? Raise the roof, everybody. Hey, should we bring the princess on before we?
Yeah, she won't come on. She doesn't
she
like.
won't-
Yeah,
oh,
she's
she don't
afraid.
like-
We put her on and turn the cameras off. She'd come on and talk. But we've tried 1,000 times on that one there. So what was the biggest surprise tonight, Coop?
You know, there were a
Reuben
couple.
Baines fell.
Well, there are a couple of trades that I just wasn't anticipating, but I got to give it to the Cowboys. I thought they traded away a lot to move up one spot, but then they recouped those picks later, so it
Right.
turns out to be.
And they got probably an edge rusher that they really like, that they really need there as well. So they filled those holes pretty well.
Yeah, and so outside of that, I would say Ty Simpson. You know,
That one's the shocker to me.
I didn't really. If he was going to be a first round pick, I thought it would be a later pick, a pick in the 20s, like maybe starting with the Steelers at 21.
Here's the thing about that. Nobody else, I mean, here's the difference between the Rams draft and the Cardinals draft. Everybody's been saying Ty Simpson to Arizona because it's been floated out. Did anybody, until today when Jay Glazer had it, did anybody say Ty Simpson to the Rams?
No, never.
No,
He was never a top
That's the difference
20.
between a good organization and your Arizona Cardinals right there. That summarizes it.
Well, and that's
100%.
the thing. You talk about, okay, we keep everything under wraps, and there were no leaks from the Rams.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing that's happened there in my eyes as well. I mean, some of these the offensive lineman run kind of shocked me as well. We knew a bunch of them would go, but I mean, there are 2 of them that went that aren't in your top 40 in terms of big numbers on anybody's big board that I saw. A couple of them went in this early because of the run that happened on them as well. So that's kind of shocking to me as well. But obviously, people are focusing on their offensive line right
Well,
now.
yeah,
in the NFL.
and I just thought that Keelan Rutledge from Georgia was a big reach in the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the Texans' first and only pick in the first round, at
Yeah,
number 26.
You could have gotten him early in the second round if you could have done something there.
I mean, they have picks 39 and 59 in the second round. I know that because I've been trying to get those picks from them, in a trade. and I guarantee you, Keelan Rutledge would have been available at 39 easy.
Well, I'm going to tell you the thing that kind of surprised me a little bit is Kansas City jumping up that Delane cornerback.
Who probably
from
Robert said that they said on the broadcast that they thought that the next team, I forget who it was, who was going to draft him. Was going to draft him is what they said there. They liked him there. But I agree with you. I firmly believe he would have been there in the ninth spot, but hey, whatever. What do we know?
Two ASU guys going to the first round?
Yeah, give Jordan Tyson, I mean, up until 2 days ago, I was just Giants on Jordan Tyson. The New Orleans Saints right there at 8, go and get him as well with a couple other Arizona kids. I know Jordan Tyson's not from here, but
Spencer Rattler was a high school quarterback at Pinnacle High School in Phoenix. Tyler
multiple
Schutt
high school,
was
Chandler
high school, at Hamilton High School, and so now you get Jordan Tyson from Arizona State University over there. Yeah, it's
all they need to do is sign Cam Jordan again.
And you know what? And here. This may sound funny. I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him finish his career with the Arizona Cardinals.
No, bring him in. He's still got it last year.
As long as he finishes it like Cam Jordan and not like a couple other people that came here to finish.
But the fact
career.
that he hasn't signed tells me he's either mulling a retirement or the money's not there. Now it's just, let's wait till training camp. Somebody gets hurt. They need a good, solid veteran in there, and I'll get my opportunity. It'll be interesting to see where they go. But that's kind of what we talk about. They have a ton of space on the Cardinals' land. Go overpay for a guy like that to come to this offensive line, especially the way this first round went as well. Defensive line, especially the way this draft went for them from that side. But overall, I think a surprising draft. I think the offensive line, though, I mean, as we look at this here, the offensive line run to me is the most shocking thing that happened here tonight. Just the guys moving, the runs that they went on up and down. Not that they were bad picks. There's a couple that were stretches. But man, pays to be an offensive lineman, Dale, today. You're a little late, or a little early on that is what you were.
About 40 years too early.
You get mad at your parents for that? When you go home, you sit there and, dang you, parents.
Well, I have a quarter of the picks, 8 of the 32, being offensive linemen.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And guys were making moves to get up and get some of them and cause some, like Caleb Lomu, to kind of, I didn't say slide, but he was supposed to be a late round first pick there as well. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Cardinals say about Jeremiah Love pick and things to that effect. But even then, like Carnell Tate being drafted where he was drafted by the Titans, nobody saw that going early as well. With Reese was on the board at that point, right? Because he went next to the Giants. The Giants moves are going to be interesting to see what. Obviously, they're not going to say, "Well, we wanted Jordan Tyson, and since he was drafted before us." But interesting to see what they say there with their new head coaches. But also, we learned some new things with the Steelers and these new head coaches and how they're going to draft and run these teams here in the NFL this season and what their priorities are out there. So over and all, gentlemen, successful night. What do y'all say?
Yeah, this night can't be ruined for me. The Cardinals selected Jeremiah Love, and no matter what, I'm just elated.
Coop could have just walked out.
I could. Shoot, I might be able to fly home by myself.
Robert does say, I gotta make me laugh. He says, I think if Coop had his way, all 32 picks in the first round would be wide receivers. No, just that one wide receiver from UFC. He wants him cloned.
Yeah, Mekhi Lemon. Hey, look. When you guys watch Mekhi Lemon play in the NFL, then you'll say, damn, I know why Coop.
No, I like him. Like I said, there's just some schools I don't draft certain players from. And like I said, in that head coach over there, I think he ruins guys from that perspective. So with that being said, we're out of here. 8:14, a little 3 hours and 14-minute first round here. Dale and I will be back tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, live, of course, on YouTube and on Robat TV for the main event. Come and join us. Share us with your friends as well out there, if you would. McCollum on Business will be at 7 if I can get my butt out of bed like normal. It's going to be a fun Friday recapping the draft. Talk Diamondbacks today. Bruce, your
Steve
boy
is so
Seawall.
excited. He's going to be rolling around tonight. Oh, he screwed up again. Seawall screwed up again. We're talking about him.
Yeah, bullpen throw right down the middle, launch for a
Get outta
3-run
here.
homer to cost the Diamondbacks the game earlier
Toby,
today.
turn us off.
Well,
Just turn us off.
well, one thing we're learning, if you bring Seawall in a safe situation, he's perfect. If it's a non-safe situation,
I've said that all along.
he's over 2.
And that's what I was going to say tomorrow was I don't like them bringing him in non-safe situations. Hey, that happens all the time, and that's what they did today. So I'm not going to put it all on him, but also don't throw the ball down the middle of the plate. We'll be back tomorrow morning, folks. Appreciate you joining us. Have a great night for Bruce Cooper, for Dale Hellestrae. Dale's got to go home and lament being drafted by the Buffalo Bills. He's packing his stuff in Dallas to go to Buffalo for OTAs or whatever that was back then. Robert wants to know though, Dale, can you drive at night? You need a driver home? The bigger question should be, can I drive at night?
That's why you
You
got
have the
Blind, I
princess.
know I'm blind as well. Yeah, but I don't know what's guys.
You got pizza in front of you. You're so distracted right now. Just shut it down.
I just wanted to keep Dale here as late as possible.
Just
See you tomorrow.
shut it
See you tomorrow,
down.
everybody. Jeremiah Love, baby.